Hello everyone, and welcome to another Tinfoil Tuesday. How's everyone doing? Hope you had a great weekend. I enjoyed my time off. It was very nice. As you can see, today the costume is Woman from Michigan who voted. No costume today. I will get back to doing the costumes tomorrow, I promise, but today I just needed to be chill and in normal clothes. Speaking of which, it is that wonderful shirt that I ordered the other day from, I believe, Redbubble, from one of our lovely viewers. Looks nice. Wore it to the polls. Anyway, so welcome everyone. I voted. I hope you did too if you're in Michigan and a progressive. Voted as progressive I could all the way down the Democratic primary ticket. So cool beans. Today we're here for more tinfoil, more weirdness. Should be a lot of fun. Let me make sure I get that chat on screen. Sorry about that. I missed that earlier. Give me a break. I've been gone over the weekend. Sometimes it's hard to do your job, you know? There we go. Alright. So today we have all sorts of fun tinfoil to take a look at. You guys know the usual drill. If you guys like the stream, please do me a favor on YouTube and hit the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Use the hype feature if you're watching the VOD. If you want to support the stream, you can always use memberships on YouTube or super chats, and on Twitch you can use bits or subs. At this point in the month, though, I would ask if you're going to help support, I would really appreciate some tips. We're getting close to our goal to read Alice in Wonderland, and just because of how my paychecks are set up this month, it would just help to get some tips. By the way, the last tip goal, Discord movie night, is going to be the weekend of the 15th. The weekend of the 15th, we're going to do our big Discord movie night. I'll talk with the Discord a little bit, and we'll figure out ideas for the movie, and then we'll probably do a vote of some kind. So I'm sorry it took so long to do that. But I wanted to make sure before I asked, like, hey, if you're going to support the channel, use tips. I wanted to make sure I have everything scheduled for my backlog. We're going to do the Discord movie night the weekend of the 15th. And then once we're up to this tip goal, which we're about 250 away from, we will read Alice in Wonderland in the following week. What's the logo on the shirt? It is great. It is a skull with like a sickle and a rose. Very nice. This was Altered Undying, right? Was Altered Undying? Let me double check. I'll link the shirt because you can get it, because one of our lovely viewers designed this shirt. It is indeed. Let me get that link for you guys. If you would like the shirt, you can also get it here at Redbubble from Altered Undying, one of our regular viewers. Sergeant Sharp, thank you so much for 10 months, says, hi Hannah, ready to watch you live, so hi. Cool beans. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Thanks for your membership. Alright, so, with all that out of the way, we can jump into it. We have lots of tinfoil, should be fun. Turn that music off. And let's get to... Ooh, there's some good stuff. I'll wait for the homeschool thing, I think. Let's do this one. This one is just so goddamn weird, and there's a moment in it where I lose my mind. Real quick, Profane Priestess says, my personal take is that the Democratic establishment is running out of ways to keep the left out of power. Either they'll submit to the DSA types as willed by the voter base, or they'll become irrelevant. Yeah, pretty much. Anyway, so here's this. You guys remember Dr. Kia Pruitt? She's into the Nasara stuff. She, in this video, has on a MAGA influencer. She's not like a huge MAGA influencer or anything. Depraved Ambiance, what do you want for the hats off? And we have a hydrate. We have a MAGA influencer who is a gold star parent. Her kid died in military service. She uses this to kind of have some clout in the MAGA spaces and write her little articles or be on podcasts. Dr. Kia Pruitt has brought her on, and frankly, Dr. Kia Pruitt seems much more upset about this woman's deceased son than she seems at this point. So let's check it out. Streamer's choice, including no hat as an option. I'm gonna go no hat. We're gonna go different today. I'm always wearing goddamn hats.
loving, motherly woman who has brought me into the community, the Patriot community, and allowed me to meet some very wonderful people. So without any further ado, I'm going to bring her on the screen.
Overthought with a $5 tip says, Happy Abdul El Sayed Day. APAC doesn't get into his dreams. True. For those who don't know, in Michigan, the APAC supported Democratic candidate had this weird quote where she was like, Israel talks to me in my dreams. Really bizarre shit.
And then I'll read beautiful accolades, about.
Oh, sorry. I had that sped up for when I was watching stuff to pick stuff for stream.
Who she is.
There we go.
Let me bring on Mother. Hi, Mother.
Hello.
Weird to call a woman who isn't your mom Mother. A little weird. I don't even know if your age difference is enough that she could be your mom.
Hello, Dr. Kia. Hello, listeners. Love to you.
Hello, Mother. I want to introduce you, but
Corn Job with a $5 tip says, Hooray for bingo. Thank you for the tips. Getting closer to the goal.
I don't know how you do it. Excuse me.
Sorry.
Okay, excuse me. Excuse me, family. Let me read this biography.
Again, reminder, Kia is not the person with a deceased child in this.
And then I'll let Mother speak. Gold Star Mother Susan Price.
I looked into this, by the way. This is not a normal thing. She does not have other people refer to her as Mother. This is not like part of her online MAGA persona. This is purely Kia Pruitt being fucking crazy.
Is a national Gold Star mother, and she's a resident of this great state of Florida. She's the daughter of a Marine herself, and she is the mother of a fallen soldier, a great American hero. Excuse me. Aaron Michael Kennebec, a highly decorated stellar Marine of over 12 years. The tragic loss of her son.
Yeah, her tearing up is weird. If it was the mom, I get it. We wouldn't be covering this if it was the mom crying. What is she doing? Lennon Cat with 40 bits says, I wouldn't be surprised if some mainstream Dems start pushing for voting security legislation that actually just works to keep young people from voting to prevent progressives from gaining ground, like that time that Texas tried to ban student IDs from being allowed. Wouldn't surprise me. These old fucks are holding on to power until they literally hit the grave. They have a mental illness. Drives me nuts.
And his Marine embattled training team has raised more questions than answers. And I can assure you that when I watch videos...
Oh, by the way, the other person, the actual mom of the veteran, in case you're curious, like, what her stuff is like, I pulled up an article from her. America needs constitutional education in her schools. I don't know if they know this. They teach you about the Constitution in school. You already get talk about it. That's a thing. Just saying. For decades, the foundation of our republic has been undermined by the disciples of Karl Marx. The socialists have gained control of our public schools and are teaching doctrines contrary to those of our founding fathers. Oh my god, we have ideas different than dead guys who owned slaves from 200 years ago? Famously, you're not allowed to have different opinions about things than slave owners from over 200 years ago. Isn't it crazy how she says that? Like, you should automatically horrified. Like, our founding fathers! As if they're, like, deities? Is this Marxism on the bingo card? It is. To save our nation, we need to teach ourselves and our grandchildren the principles of liberty! There are millions of public school teachers who have been programmed by colleges and universities to deliver a curriculum rather than teach our children how to think for themselves. You get onto it. You get it. She goes on like this. Anyway.
about what happened to him, I have many questions. Through her undocumented
Thanks, Felix. I had a pretty good long weekend. Oh, let me get that Marxism on the bingo card. Everything I don't like is Marxism or whatever it is. Where is that one? We actually haven't gotten that one in a while. Make this bigger so I can see it. Where is that one? Oh, yep, 83. Thank you very much.
love for her son, Gold Star mother Susan Price transitioned into a wonderful investigative researcher through countless hours of research.
Did I miss you? I did miss you guys. I did. I miss you guys when I'm not streaming.
Years of connecting the dots, factual documentation.
She is crying. She is crying.
Eyewitness accounts. She began to see the crimes that were brought up against her son.
Oh, she also believes that her son was killed by the deep state. So she's not, like, normal in taking the death of her son well, or, like, no one can take the death of their child well, but you know what I mean. She's not taking it for what it is. She has turned the death of her child into a conspiracy theory in which the deep state intentionally murdered her son because she can't presumably cope with the reality that he went into military service, and unlike the other people in her family who came home, he didn't. So she comes up with conspiracy theories and all that jazz, because presumably the military is so important to her. Her father was in the military, I think her husband was, other people in her family. I assume the dissonance with recognizing that you like the military so much because it's meant so much to your family and done things for your family, and then on the other end, it's taken away your son. I imagine that's really hard to deal with and to sort of mesh together. How do you resolve that dissonance? And she has decided, well, it's not just normal military service that took her son. It was the deep state. It was the communists. No, she didn't say deep state yet. I did. So, no.
While he was fighting for our freedoms.
Am I going to be streaming Thursday? I will be.
And she learned what happened on that fateful day, September 8th, 2009. I'm sorry. When her son was abandoned and neglected and then killed in action and left to die. Susan Price is known as a veterans advocate and a national voice. She's appeared on 60 Minutes, as well as many Patriot radio broadcasts and other Patriot, radio shows, having worked with various Patriot groups concerning the military and veterans. She is known as the Gold Star mother with a voice, and she's known as the go-to person to speak on behalf of Gold Star families. So
I would think not in the real world. In the crazy conspiracy space, maybe. Not generally, one would hope.
For those of you who don't know, a Gold Star mother is a mother of a fallen soldier, a soldier who was killed in action, and in this case, killed by the military-industrial complex, who was supposed to take care of him and protect.
I'm gonna go back and let you listen to that. I paused at a bad place, because when I heard this when I was... This line is what made me play the video. This line is what made me go, I gotta play this video.
Industrial complex. In this case, killed by the military-industrial complex, who was supposed to take care of him and
the military-industrial complex that was supposed to take care of him? If I wrote this in a story, in a dystopian... You'd say it's on the nose. You'd be like, no one would say shit that stupid. So fucking stupid. The military-industrial complex, which cares the most about our young boys in service.
protect him. I'm sorry. I don't know how she does it, family. Excuse me. At this time, I'd like to introduce to you a beautiful person, the mother of the Patriot community, Gold Star Mother, Susan Price. Mother, I turn it over to your hands. How do you do? You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Kia. Well, it takes the love of a mother and the strength of a mother or a father. I don't mean to exclude fathers and family members, but our families were tragically credentialed, and it's a club you don't go looking to join. Fate and destiny choose its members.
What?
And I am also
Destiny chooses its members.
a veteran.
I'm getting grandiose vibes.
I served our great nation in uniform. My father was a Marine. I was in the Army, but a third of the men in my family served. I'm the only woman.
How did that discussion go when she went into the Army, but then she had a kid and the kid wanted to be a Marine?
And my great grandmother
Was she like, damn, I knew I gave that boy too many crayons?
lost her son, her baby boy, her seventh child, in the Navy he was in on Christmas Eve. So my great grandmother had the telegram service at her front door, like I had the two Marines confronting me that day. So, you know, we do inherit, and I don't know if your listeners know this, and it's one of those secrets we found out through the years. We inherit our families through the DNA trauma. History.
What?
We inherit our families through the DNA trauma. History repeats itself. And unluckily, I was...
I don't know what she means. Is she talking about generational trauma? Because that's more of a nurture thing than a nature thing.
That person in my family's genealogy to inherit what my great grandmother experienced. And
oh no, you think experiences are inherited. You think that because your grandmother had someone die in war, you were genetically destined for that? That's not how that works at all. That's not how genes work. Your genes have genetic material. They don't have anything to do with, like, events happening outside of you and it. What are you talking about? Yeah, she's talking about family curses, basically, Lennon Cat. Yeah. But she's saying genetics to try and make it sound less crazy, I guess.
But I am also the healer in my family to put an end to it. And I was honored that President Trump, before he was president, 9 months before, I was asked to
Just a Peach says, green guy guffawed at the crayon joke. I thought he would.
speak on his stage. And he loves our veterans and our military so much. He loves our great nation. And I've met President Trump, spoke to him, and spent time with him. I also met.
You feel good about all the people he sent to die in Iran and all the Iranians he's killed, including a bunch of children? You super thrilled about that? You think he cares very deeply about you and military members?
The president that was before him and spent time there because my son's death is tied to 2 living Medal of Honor recipients, which is the highest.
What does that mean? His death is tied to 2 Medal of Honor recipients. So other people in the situation got the Medal of Honor. I'm guessing that's what she means.
Awards in the military. And my son.
Green guy with a $10 tip says she watched Forrest Gump one too many times.
And his men were also set up by the shadow government and deep state.
Oh, deep state. There we go. We got one. Let's get that card open. Deep state, deep state.
Not just the military-industrial complex, but the State Department. Someone from the State Department.
When they say the military-industrial complex, it feels like they just mean the military. Like, do they think that the military-industrial complex means the military? Because it's not. You can just say the military for that.
Department had been there the day before. I want to begin with a little something I just wrote real quick.
Okay.
And I wanted to thank your listeners for their hearts and their sentiments.
Did I see Trump removed 3 soldiers from the death toll of the Iran war because they died during the ceasefire? Total BS. Wow. Every day I'm like, I'm numb to it. He's just like every terrible, awful, worst decision a human being could make, he does it. And I think that, like, I'm done being surprised and I hear something, I'm like, wow, yeah, okay. That's a new thing I didn't think of anyone ever doing for any reason, much less a stupid reason as this, which is his ego and optics. Christ.
And I read some of their comments, touched my heart. And I just want to let y'all know that I started out as the grieving mother, but now I'm the mother. So, and I represent.
What does that mean?
For you all, because a lot of mothers don't have a voice.
Did she rubber band from, like, after her son passed away? She felt so helpless and powerless that she rubber banded right into crazy conspiracy theorist with delusions of grandeur. So she feels like she has agency and power in a situation in which in reality she actually has very little power. In fact, no power. She might feel guilt. Like, I'm sure that one of the reasons her kid went into the military was because of her and her family's history in the military. There's got to be some amount of guilt, right? Whether you think that guilt is right or wrong, or in what measure it should exist, if at all, it's got to be there somewhere, at least as an idea. And I feel like she's running away from that.
So I've been the go-to person.
What does rubber band mean? In this, do I have a rubber band around? You know what a rubber band does. Kind of looks like a rubber band. It's not really. But you know, you have a rubber band and you'll stretch it out and you'll stretch it out, but there's tension there. There's a potential energy because of the tension, right? You get stretched so far, and then sometimes as a reaction, this, again, it's a metaphor, but like emotionally, if you're drawn so far in one direction, sometimes you can develop a coping mechanism that basically shoots you in the other direction. You feel like you have no power and you feel guilty that you've done something. Pew! No, you don't. It's not your fault at all. Actually, it's the deep state. You've done nothing wrong. And in fact, you're a hero in a story in which you get to take down the people that killed your son. You know what I mean? It is way overshooting feeling an insecurity or trying to cope with some sort of mental thing that is deeply disturbing to you. It is a bad way of resolving some sort of mental conflict that is quite distressing to you, that way overshoots the mark into maladaptivity.
Not just for mothers, but also for military men that have served. These are officers that ended up in jail or were on their way to jail for doing their job by these deep state military generals and officers that were working for the bad guy. So I wanted to remind everybody.
The bad guy. You know how there's the bad guy in real life in every situation? Wouldn't that be nice?
That during times of peace, sons laid their fathers to rest. And during times of war, fathers laid their sons to rest.
See, this mythologizing of the military is clearly quite central to her conception of herself and the country. Like, she thinks of the military in almost mythic terms, it seems like. No wonder she couldn't just cope with the sad reality that, yep, your son signed up for a meat grinder. That's the job. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, the ideas of valor and service and stuff, that's mostly stuff that it's like propaganda to get you to go and risk your life for your country, for the people in charge of the country that stand to gain from what you're doing. But the idea that it's really this, like, completely noble, all these connotations that we attach to it, it's not really true. These are stories. Sorry, I just feel like I'm drowning in her own cognitive dissonance, and it's making me very sad.
Did you know that less than 1% of our great nation serves this country in uniform? That's an atrocity right there.
Did I see that the Secretary of War Crimes, has sent out a crowdsourcing email to the military asking for suggestions on what the hell they can do to unfuck the U.S.-Israel-Iran war? I did see that. We're all out of ideas! Oh man, it's almost like you shouldn't start wars with no specific goal or strategies or reason.
Less than 1% are representing the other 99%, giving you all a voice. Are you using it?
You think that the military gives the people a voice? What?
Are you showing up at your communities, your schools, councils, events? I'm here to share with you that what my family and I witnessed 13 and a half years ago when we were tragically credentialed into the Gold Star family, the clubs that you don't want to be indoctrinated into. We saw that enemy, all the enemies, the corporations, the military complex, those working in government.
Again, she's a Republican that supports Trump, but she's against corporations and the military-industrial complex. I hope I'm the crazy one. I really do. I hope I'm the crazy one. If I'm not, wow.
Those who look at you with a smile and a suit or a uniform while they're sticking the knife in your back, we saw them.
That's a new prop. It's been down here for a year. I have all sorts of shit that's just laying around me. It's been here. It's a frisbee from Vinegar Syndrome. There's a thing on the back so you can put a DVD in it if you wanted to put a DVD in your frisbee and then throw the DVD in frisbee. I have this. What was this? Oh, this was part of the... Okay, I know what this is part of. What's over here? Spit take jug.
That's the battlefield. What we witnessed on that battlefield that...
Oh, Hannah mentions Blu-rays. I'll count it even though it was a DVD. Most people think it's the same thing. Hannah mentions Blu-rays. God damn it.
That day worked itself into your communities, your schools, and now it's at your doorstep at the 12th hour. Mm-hmm. So what are you going to do about it? Because I will tell you that the less than 1% of us that gave our voice for generations, I'm a generational warrior.
Oh yeah, she's like into the military in like a cultish way. Like, holy shit, her family, her parents must have really put some, like, really fucked up shit in her in terms of, like, military mythos. Like, I'm not saying there's anything wrong with being in the military or anything. Well, I do have opinions on that, but rhetorically speaking, I'm not addressing it right now. But She seems to really think like, I'm a warrior, and if it wasn't for me, everyone would be living in commie blocks eating ant meat. Oh boy.
Even out of uniform, I serve in some capacity. Please use your voices. We're at the 12th hour now.
She's worthy of wielding Mjolnir.
And with that, Dr. Kia, I'll let you ask questions.
Okay. I heard President Trump say at the CPAC, the conference, that he would totally obliterate the deep state. And
oh my God, guys, Trump said a thing? Wow. Wow, that's so great. We don't have over a decade of objective knowledge that he just says shit and then does the opposite and says other shit that contradicts the first shit, and then he says the thing was a joke, but then no, it wasn't a joke, it's serious.
it made me emotional. It made me think of your son and in the fight that you're in. How did that make you feel when you heard that speech?
Well, I love
Green Guy says U.S. Marine equals Odysseus to her, basically, yeah.
it, and I've been following everything that Donald Trump, our president, then and now, has to say. I followed all his orders. I've written about a lot of this on AmericaOutloud.com. AmericaOutloud.com. You can go there. I've been writing for them for 6 or 7 years because when the Lord told me, when I cried and read the investigation reports, and I knew because I'm a very spiritual woman and I have spiritual insights. The Lord.
Oh, God. I love when people call their insane bullshit thoughts like divine insight. Like, I had an incredibly paranoid thought that keeps me from accepting responsibility for things that happen in my life. It's divine inspiration. Can we start teaching people about metacognition? I'm exhausted doing it for them.
Talks to me, shows me things. I meet people that become a part of my life, and I just know, how are you going to fit in my life? There's patterns. And when I went into the service, they said that I could have been a really great cop or a detective because I've solved some cases, and I'm at 17, 18 years old. So I have the natural ability, and I'm a researcher.
You held on to a compliment for 30 years? Jesus Christ.
I dig deep.
Imagine remembering something a boss said to you 30 years ago and taking it that seriously. Even though nothing has come from that, that's maybe something to remember if you did take that path and did become a detective or a cop or something, but like, she didn't, so what a weird thing to hold on to?
But I also have the gift to see, and I have a gift of the
Profane Priestess says, genuinely not sure what we're supposed to do about the fact that when a black man became president, somewhere between a quarter and a third of the country was so racist that they legitimately went insane. I think part of the problem is a ton of people's egos, whether they realized it or not, were being held together by the underlying subconscious idea that if they're white, sure, they might be poor or something, but they have a higher social status than non-white people. But when that no longer, like, it's still, obviously, racism exists and white people have it easier than non-white people in the United States. But, like, when a non-white person became president, I think that kind of fucked up their egos and were like, oh no, I have to judge my life based on my own conditions and not the color of my skin. Oh no! And it like fucking broke their brains and their like conceptions of themselves, and they felt like society was collapsing because what was really collapsing was their perception of the order of the world and how they had viewed it. So to them, it's this catastrophe. They don't understand why everyone isn't freaking out, because they don't understand that they're having a personal crisis mentally, and they're unable to articulate that and deal with that in a real way. So they externalize all of it and act as though it's everyone else's problem that they feel this way. Anyway.
discernment, but you don't know that you're going to use it later in life. A lot of us, we don't know what our gifts are until something happens and we have to rescue ourselves or a family member or a friend, and then we find out who we are. And so being that mother of that beautiful little boy that used to pick dandelions out of the backyard and put them in a teacup, and the little boy that would place that teacup on my table and say, "These are for you, Mama," when he was 4 and 5 years old. And that beautiful boy that was the paper boy on our street and looked out for the elderly, because we lived in Buffalo, New York, and we had very cold, blizzardy weather, at least a handful of times out of the winters. And he looked out for the elderly and make a shopping list, what they needed, and collected their money and made sure that we picked those up when we went to the grocery store. He was always that person. So little did I know when I delivered him in the hospital on a blizzardy night in February.
I'm speeding this up. We're coming up on an hour, and I definitely want to move on soon.
And the doctor held him up high like this, like he offered him up to the Lord and said, "Susan, what name do you give your child?" I said, "Aaron Michael."
Like it was the Lion King? What a weird doctor.
Meaning warrior, angel. Little did
You named your child with the thought that it means warrior angel? When you make your personality and your family's whole existence surrounding the idea that you're all warriors, why are you surprised when one of them dies? What do you think warriors do? What do warriors do? It's like she has the idea in her head of a platonic ideal of a warrior that never loses and only fights righteous causes. That's not a real thing anywhere in human history. Oh no.
I know that by the time he was almost 31, he would grow into those.
They come out to play. Yay. Do I gotta... Oh shit, I rearranged some stuff and now my copy of The Warriors is in the back. Pretend I pulled out a copy of The Warriors on 4K. I've done it before, so...
Angel wings. I never knew I would be the mother of an American hero. I was always that.
I have thoughts. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to offend anyone. I don't want to make anyone mad. I have a legitimate question. Why does dying in service to the military make you an American hero inherently? What was he doing? What conflict was he in? What was the mission? What was he doing? Has he killed civilians? How many? Why? What, you know what I mean? Like, just the fact that you died in a conflict doesn't make you a hero. Every conflict in history is filled with people dying. Everyone dying. Do you think everyone who died in World War II was a hero? In World War I, dying in a trench with your foot rotting off? You think that made them a hero? No, war is a bad thing. Oh my god.
That 10, 11.
I understand that war can be necessary because human beings are filled with desires and conflict and hate for each other and selfishness. I understand. But the idea of it being a good thing, or a thing where you are going to go and achieve valor and going to achieve something great, is disturbing to me. Like, what are we doing?
12-year-old little girl that would adorn my wrist with the name of a fallen hero or those killed in action or missing in action during Vietnam.
Can you have a country with a military where it doesn't mythologize itself to death? Or is that necessary to convince people to go and die for what are ultimately mostly material reasons? I don't know.
Little did I know that I would become a mother one day of a man who loved our country so much, loved you all so much, even though he didn't know you, he loved you because he believed in God and he believed in our Christian Judeo way of our moral sanctity and sovereignty.
Christian Judeo way. I don't know if you know this, but Christianity and Judaism have some pretty key conflicts. Green Guy says, when I grow up, I'm gonna die too. Me too.
That he served
Can't wait.
for you and he died fighting for you all.
He is very, very handsome and tall, and you can just see the light in his eyes, Mother. You can see it just beaming from his essence. Yes.
He looks like my father and my brothers a lot.
Wow.
And my side of the family, he was 6'3", and he was a lady magnet. But he was a humble man, and he loved the Lord, and he was just a humble guy, filled with life.
What did you and his dad say? I couldn't bring up a picture of him, but here's what I posted on my community section for all those who didn't get to see. Can you see it here? Yes. He's
Judeo-Christian. Isn't that those Jews for Jesus losers? No, you're thinking of Messianic Jews, which are really just evangelical Christians that LARP as Jewish because they would like to call themselves the chosen people. Judeo-Christian is an American conservative political concept that was created to try and... How do I put this? For most of American history, there was still conflict between sects, right? Catholics and Protestants didn't really get along. Baptists and Lutherans would have, different concerns. But sort of after the civil rights stuff kind of started going through, and conservatives realized, okay, we need to find new things to rally people around except for segregation. They developed this idea of the Judeo-Christian values, in which we combined pretty much all. They were still not great on Catholics at the time, but these days it pretty much means all Christians. They took all the different denominations of Christianity and tried to rhetorically put them together as though they are consistent. They're not. Different denominations have very different beliefs and concerns, but nonetheless, conservatives in the United States started trying to draw a line between the founding of the country and values for Christians of all sorts, as well as Jewish people, right? So they kind of created this consortium under their tent in which they could say, oh, you're religious in America? You should come vote for us because we believe in the same values. And then they started pushing for, anti-abortion stuff, anti-choice stuff, which became a major wedge issue for them. And we see how that has gone up until recently. So I actually wouldn't be surprised if conservatives continue to exist in a form over the next 50 years as more and more of the population of the United States is Muslim. It would not surprise me if eventually conservatives give up on trying to be Islamophobic and actually start shifting to a Judeo-Christian Islamic group under their tent where they try to no longer be Islamophobic and try and court conservative Muslim voters as demographics shift and stuff. But that's a story for a different day.
Actually, you see those gold jumper wings right above all his ribbons, and he had the humanitarian award and 2 Purple Hearts, and he was number place.
Yes, Abrahamic religions, but Americans are stupid, so they won't say Abrahamic religions. They will say Judeo-Christian Muslim.
Number 1 at jump.
Because most Americans would go, Abraham, who's that? Even though they're professed Christian. I don't think most American Christians, if you were like, Abraham, they'd immediately know who you're talking about from the Bible or from the Torah. Sorry.
School. He was Marine of the Year twice. He served as, now we know that he was bad, but back then we didn't know that President George W. Bush was one of the bad guys. We didn't know that back then. And he was.
I knew that back then. I was in elementary school.
His personal.
For the record.
Attendee at the Republican National Convention in 2004. So, and he had gone through boot camp and all that. And he also was quarterback on his football team at high school. And he could have gone to college on a scholarship. But he said, no, I'm going in the military. It's kind of similar to Pat Tillman, who was also very handsome, was already a professional football player. But Tillman went into the Army and was killed by friendly fire.
Wasn't Abraham a cheating whore? He had many wives. The children from Abraham's marriages became the 12 tribes of Israel. it's a whole thing. I'm not gonna get. I've talked about the Bible enough in my fucking life.
Yeah, very similar in different ways. But so my son, pardon, go ahead.
No.
Abraham is the father of the tribes of Israel, basically, and then his kids went on to be sort of the heads of the tribes of Israel. Except for Joseph. London Cat says, I've said for a long time that if Republicans could stop being racist, they'd never lose an election. The same immigrants that they dislike are almost all from religiously and socially conservative countries. Yeah. Yep. I'm actually worried about it, but I don't know. That's a problem for a different decade. I don't know.
Go ahead. I want to hear you.
And I was saying when he was in high school, one day at the end of his sophomore year, he said to me, Mama, I said to him, you need to think of colleges, boy. And
That's exactly what I was going to ask you. How did he come to wanting to be in the military? What were you thinking?
Yeah. And that's what I said to him. And I was his mentor. You know, he loved me and his father and his uncles. And he just loved his family. He was all into his family. And he had the best friends, too.
Oh, my God, you're totally right. I fucked it up. I said Americans are too stupid, and then I was too stupid. Take that, Hannah, you conceited piece of fucking garbage. The gall to call other people stupid. That's what you get, you stupid streamer bitch.
He was that way to people. And he said, Mama, I've been given it a lot.
Everyone point and laugh at Hannah. She's inadequate.
I thought, and I want to go in the Marine Corps. And I said, well, and it was peacetime. But I said, well, son, you could go to college on a scholarship for sports. You play football, baseball, basketball. And
that wasn't a request. It was an order. I don't see anyone laughing.
A lot of his friends of color would say,
there we go. There's some reactions in chat. Did she just say friends of color?
on a scholarship for sports, you play football, baseball, basketball. And a lot of his friends of color would say, he had moxie, but he had sway, swag. Aaron, he had swag, and he could palm a basketball in his hand, and he was a total athlete.
His friends of color said he had swag. All right, I think that's our cue to move on from this video. We've peaked. We peaked. Okay, let's watch this other stupid bullshit. Let's do the homeschooling flat earthers. Oh, this is stupid. I don't know when else I'm going to talk about this. This is a sovereign citizen thing, but it ties into conspiracy theory. Delete Laws posted this. If you watch my sovereign citizen streams, you know who Delete Laws is. He says, Mark Benioff has publicly identified as Jewish. He has spoken about his Jewish heritage in interviews and has supported a number of Jewish organizations and causes. They've lied about 9/11, COVID, genocide, but now they're only saying this to help us. I hate a New York strip steak, don't you? Why is it the most expensive thing in the grocery store? Because it's not good for you? I'm just noticing. So, 9/11 out of nowhere, an overt anti-Semitism from Delete Laws, who I guess is into the JQ or something now. Great. Overt anti-Semitism. And 9/11 out of nowhere. Thanks, Chili, you piece of shit. Why is everyone that I watch turning out to be a Nazi on a long enough time scale? I'm crazy. What the fuck is happening? Why is everyone I cover converging into neo-Nazism? I'm not a real fan of it. Alright, sorry, let me get those homeschool people on here. Ugh. Sorry. There we go.
On your windows. Thank God your names are listed. Thank God your names are listed on your windows.
Yeah.
Michael and Josh Keefe.
Oh yeah, Flat Earth on the bingo card. Flat Earth. This is Flat Earth Dave. So, and we're going to talk about Flat Earth anyway. So Flat Earth on the bingo card.
right? I said it right? Is it Keefe or Keefe?
Keefe.
Keefe.
We get called Keefe a lot.
Keefe.
When we're, as educators, yeah, it's on the first few weeks, Mr. Keefe.
Mr. Keefe. And I just want to let you tell your story, but you two were both, tell me if I got this right, you were both public school teachers, correct?
Yes.
And you were teaching science.
Starting to think we need higher standards for teachers in schools. Maybe we should start paying them more.
And the bottom line is you woke up to the reality of this world and realized that you were teaching lies and nonsense and couldn't take it anymore.
Yes,
exactly.
Yeah. And ironically, my very first teaching job, there was this strange situation where I was getting special ed certified. The science teacher,
Oh, great. He was dealing with special needs children. Great.
for earth science, and 6th grade earth science, was having a baby, and the other co-teacher was having a divorce
They are twins, yes.
and leaving. And so they threw me into this science classroom, and on day one, they handed me a globe and said, "We're learning the Coriolis effect. Here's a globe. Here's how you teach it. You're up next." And I'm like, okay, here I am teaching wisdom to these children, I thought. And I was like, wow, I'm learning this because I never really fully understood the Coriolis effect with my dry erase marker and a globe.
You were teaching things you didn't understand? Well, that kind of says it all, doesn't it?
And I'm so thankful the journey has changed since then, because now I realize, I was a part of the
Now I realize I was completely unqualified to be an elementary school teacher because I shouldn't have passed elementary school. Oh my god. Oh, why is it that all this right-wing manosphere, conspiracy theory, big tent bullshit, it's always people who are complete failures? It's always people who failed at doing a thing because they were unqualified or lazy or an idiot. And then they're like, oh, it was the system, man. I escaped from Babylon. No, you escaped from recognizing your own mediocrity, you fucking loser. You decided, oh, there's something I could do better at. Instead of working towards it, how about I decide the entire world's a simulation? Oh my god. Bossloth with 40-bit says, especially in poor red states, you end up with substitute teachers completely out of their depth. I don't give a shit about subs, especially the ones that are there for a day. Who gives a fuck? They're there to put on a Bill Nye tape. Who cares? These guys are claiming they were actually elementary school teachers, not subs. Oh, we're on a hype train. If you want to help out the hype train on Twitch, you can always use bits, subs, or gift subs.
Babylonian system, with the McGraw-Hill text straight out of Babylon.
I'm sorry, how is McGraw-Hill straight out of Babylon?
When did you guys
I'm straight out of patience with these fucking people.
wake up to biblical Earth, as you call it, or flat
He was talking about substituting for a pregnant colleague. Okay, Jesus Christ. At least they're subs.
Earth?
Sorry, I have a cut on my leg. And I just scratched it and opened it because I didn't remember I had it on my leg. Ah! I just took my nail and I was like, right. Oh, perpendicular and everything. Oh.
What was the trigger point?
I woke up right before he did. I had
Nemesaur, thanks for gifting 10 tier 1 subs.
Of course, I'm teaching life science, biology. He's helping, even though he's not teaching it. He's telling me, hey, look into the fraud of evolution. I knew it was a fraud, but he said, look into this hoax.
Yeah, these people should not be anywhere near a school. These people should not be near children. Green Guy, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Much appreciated.
Hoax and this hoax. He kind of gave me a list to start out with, and I started going, wow, this is pretty bad. And after that journey began, and I'm looking into evolution and debunking.
Yeah, Felix, no problem. Let me get that sub for you.
That was pretty easy. Debunking evolution is probably one of the easiest things to do.
Only if you're a fucking idiot and are gonna be wrong about
with real science. And as I'm doing that,
real science
some
is the
miracles.
one that agrees with what the Bible says. Doesn't understand the scientific method on the bingo card. Misunderstanding of the scientific method.
Happened that just humbled me to where I was like, I know that there's something off about creation. I know that the whole dinosaur narrative is falling apart. I don't understand how no one's
The
noticed the
dinosaur narrative.
inconsistencies there and how it all started, and evolution's falling apart. But what else are we missing?
None of those things are falling apart. You're just in weird online echo chambers with conspiracy theorists who are in a constant state of, it's coming, guys! We're about to be vindicated! Because that's the perpetual state in which conspiracy spaces sit. Because they always have to be like that, because otherwise, why you there?
I feel like we're all walking around like zombies in this world, clueless as to who we really are, and they're hiding so much. Show me everything. And that was the question I asked. I said, show me the truth of creation, no matter how crazy it sounds. And this was about 10 years ago.
But, you know, not evolution, because that's not satisfying to him or whatever. Terradona with 100 bits says, and these butchers of education are eligible to vote.
And like then probably the next day, he brought to my attention that
They think dinosaurs are fake. Why? Because they're fundamentalist Christians who don't believe in dinosaurs because they're not in the Bible. They are young Earth creationists. They think that the Earth is 6,000 years old, incorrectly. So there's no room for dinosaurs in their narrative because they're obsessed with assuming that a book written thousands of years ago is the one true arbiter of reality instead of, you know, reality that we can test all around us.
this video of Rob Skiba talking about biblical cosmology, and the Holy Spirit confirmed to me that this is the truth, looked into it. And so I did. And I it's one of those things where it's like you kind of regretted going, I don't care how crazy it sounds, show me the truth. And because when he did, I was like, nobody's going to listen to me. My wife looked at me with these big eyes like, be careful, you're kind of going off the deep end here. And
yeah, he calls me out of the blue and he's like, hey, man, I'm driving down the road. And he's like, I think the earth might be flat. And that's a weird thing for somebody to say when you're as indoctrinated as we all were. You know, I was like, my first image was that book.
Indoctrination is when you listen to things that people have tested and verified, by the way. Gitara says he should have listened to his wife.
Going over the edge of the ocean, and I was like, this is, are you, you know, what is wrong?
I wonder what the wives think. I mean, I got to imagine that this was indicative. Like, I would imagine that there were other signs that they were like this. There had to be.
With you.
yeah.
Hey, Mike, real quick, can you either back off your mic, or if you have a volume down a little bit, you're just super loud, or just talk a little quieter. Any one of those will work.
I'll just move it away.
There you go. That's better.
Is that better?
Yeah, it's better. So,
Okay.
For those of you who don't know, these guys are twins. Now, who's older? Josh, you're like minutes older?
7 minutes.
7 minutes older. So you're always first at everything,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, he's
You woke up to flat Earth before him, like 7 minutes before
well, I'm
him.
actually 7 minutes later. I'm the younger one.
Oh, you're the younger one.
Yeah.
Okay, there you
as
go.
he says,
He's my
he
little
was-
brother.
He was planned. I wasn't.
Nice. And
Mr.
for those of
Blast,
you
thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs.
who are like, I know these guys. Mike, were you in the movie also, Origins Untold?
Yeah. Yeah, we were both in there.
You were both in.
Yeah.
Okay, I forgot if you were both in. So we were in the movie Origins.
They still making new creationist anti-evolution movies? I gotta imagine they're using the same arguments. Like, I went over all that stuff like a decade ago. Have they come up with any new creationist arguments, or is it the same old stuff that's been debunked thousands and thousands of times?
Origins Untold, great, different type of flat Earth movie, but it came out a couple years ago by
30
the
seconds left on the hype train.
Facelli. What?
Fasook?
Say their last name again.
Fasook
Fasook,
Films.
right?
Yeah, Fasook.
Yeah.
The Sook films. Okay.
Sarah and David Fasook.
Fasook.
I was calling them Fessewick for probably 2 years before they corrected me.
So that's funny, and maybe I'll link that below here if anyone hasn't seen that. Or you can
Free
just
to watch.
search on my website. You can find it right there. So you guys leave public school, private school. Was it a Catholic school or just regular school? What kind of school was it?
Public school. Yeah, it was a public school in North Georgia, and been teaching for 18 years in public school. And
Not very well, I would guess.
once it
Thanks for the hype train, everyone. Such generous gift subs and bits and everything. Thank you. Dilla Spiller says, strange the book hasn't gotten a new text revision lately either. And Harold Edelman says, same shit, new sandwich.
got out that, our belief system, we were called into the office multiple times and told, hey, we're not saying you can't, but if you want to keep a job in public education, you probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
And so you were teaching science, history, everything?
I was biology and environmental science, which is basically like an earth science class.
Yeah.
And so I
wouldn't trust these guys to teach gym.
had the life science and the earth.
Tea Time Tea says there was this one weird one where a guy debated Forrest Walkai and then made a movie about an atheist podcaster falling in love with his daughter. What?
Earth science combo. He was a math teacher, and so he wasn't as much under the microscope as I was. They were afraid that I would be just starting to teach that in my class. And I had been teaching it online on YouTube, which is crazy because I had like 25 subscribers on another channel. And I brought up, because I'd been debunking evolution on there, I'd been teaching biblical things, and then I brought up the firmament. Once I brought up the firmament and I made the NASA Fells video, that's when I got called into the office. And somehow a coworker found the video, saw my face, and said, this doesn't look good in our science department for people.
No kidding! I can see the headlines. Georgia Earth Sciences teacher makes flat Earth videos. Yeah. Yeah, I'd see that headline and then I'd go, that confirms biases I have against Southerners. I believe that. And then I wouldn't read the article.
And this is what the principal said.
Such
He
is
said,
life.
it doesn't look good for you to be denying proven facts and working in our science department.
Oh, man.
Denying proven facts.
Wow. Yeah.
I was like, ooh. I was like, I don't want to debate you right now, but I kind of do. You know,
Yeah.
I want to put your proven facts to the test. And so, yeah, that was
Settled science and
yeah.
proven facts. It's all there. Can you tell me one? All of it.
Yes, it's hard to kind of say just one thing. I guess, what are you looking for? Because fundamentally what we are arguing about is not a series of like facts that you could put into a bullet point list. What we're dealing with is your fundamental worldview is of such distrust and paranoia towards everything that you think that the earth could be flat and be hidden. That speaks terribly to the condition of your mental health. Like, I wouldn't want you near any children just because I'm afraid of your brain. You are not a rational person. You are making incredibly paranoid choices. You should not be teaching children anything. I don't think you should be allowed to have kids, to be honest, if you're into this.
Are you disagreeing?
How did this person get into a classroom? Isn't there a vetting process? It's dog shit in the United States because teachers get paid fucking nothing.
Agreeing with all of the books that the Rockefellers wrote for us? Are you disagreeing with that?
Yeah, I wish I knew what I knew now that I could have said more, but I was in the early phases of investigating, and that was back when the information was readily available. We could find people like you, and you were one of the first people outside.
It's still readily available. It's so funny that I see flat earthers pretty consistently be like, it's so hard to find information now. It's not that it got hidden, it's just there's far fewer flat earthers making content because over time, many of them either stopped doing it because they were getting mocked or because it was ruining their personal life, stopped doing it because it went out of fashion and isn't the most popular conspiracy theory anymore. Even many other conspiracy theorists make fun of it. They just bounced off of it. A lot of the time people get into something and then they stop thinking about it. Flat earthers, some of them were like that. That's about it. Like, it's not hidden from you. There's just less content because fewer people are interested.
of Rob that I came across.
And yeah, also stuff like the final experiment didn't help. That actually did. Surprisingly, it didn't stop all flat earthers, of course, but it did convince more than I would have thought flat earthers that actually the world isn't necessarily flat. So
I think it was your circumnavigation video and things like that were very helpful in the early.
they all moved to QAnon. I like that video. That's a Dan Olson video you're referencing. But I do want to point out, since then, since they went from kind of flat Earth to QAnon, now QAnon has kind of dispersed. And they're all kind of back in all sorts of different conspiracy spaces. I would say right now, there is not one big, huge, big tent conspiracy that everyone sits under. For a while, QAnon was that for a lot of conspiracy theorists.
Early days.
Nice.
Weirdly, right now, mermaids really hot. This past couple weeks or 3 weeks, mermaids have been a very popular topic of discussion for conspiracy theorists. I don't know why. Don't know why. Wonder what happened to Nathan Thompson. He just doesn't do as much as he used to. He just doesn't.
As well as the fake space stuff. So yeah, I was just compiling everything. That's what I like to do, is just compile. And so after I got in trouble, I went faceless and just started compiling things and putting it out there without anybody seeing me. And it took off on another channel. So I had to stay in hiding for probably, I think it's about 5 years we stayed in hiding. And
Wow.
Somebody said, hey, just show your face, because they couldn't tell our voices apart. They said, I don't know who I'm talking to. Just show your faces. And so we were live. We showed our faces. The next week we got called into the office almost. It was like...
Yeah, you idiots. They still know it's one of you. At minimum.
As soon as we showed our faces, somebody found us and somebody said something. And
maybe still under the anti-vax umbrella, that still seems to have a solid base. That's true. That's true. I don't know if that's the main conspiracy for a lot of people, but it is a very commonly held tangential conspiracy, tertiary conspiracy for people. Often, I guess I need to explain this. For conspiracy theorists, there is usually a main conspiracy that is their concern. There's usually one big conspiracy that is their main thing they're focused on. And then underneath that, and subservient to that main belief, are all the other conspiracies that they believe that they have networked in and through the main one they believe. Usually anti-vax is not the main one for many conspiracy theorists. It's a tertiary one, almost all of them have, but it's not the main one except for a few who are just like the activist anti-vaxxers that you hear from commonly enough. Jitara says, the mermaid stuff feels really eugenics coded to me, like this talk of bloodlines and superiority of mer people when compared to humans. Oh no, okay, there is a main conspiracy they're all getting behind. It's anti-Semitism again. It's anti-Semitism again. Yep, that's the thread. That's incredibly popular amongst pretty much every conspiracy space I've been in the last 6 months. Anti-Semitism. Well, that's a bummer. I'm gonna go pee. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about a movie many of these people could do to watch. Die Stadt ohne Juden. The City Without Jews. I'll be right back. Ugh. So this movie is a Weimar Republic film, late Weimar Republic. I'm very into Weimar cinema. This is a late Weimar film, which was created as a satire of Nazism and anti-Semitism, which were, of course, on the rise in the Weimar Republic in the 20s. It's an interesting movie. I watched it last night. I enjoyed it. 2 months after the film came out, the filmmaker was shot and killed by a Nazi because they didn't like that he was making fun of them. The Nazi was acquitted by reason of insanity, and then several years later, he got out. So. Let's hope history doesn't always repeat itself, huh?
We got in trouble. And it was funny, though, because this time around we had new administration, and me and him were in the office together. It was just like being little kids when you get called to the principal's office.
Got any Ultraman or Kamen Rider media? One sec. Sorry, Austrian. Ultra Q. Ultraman. Ultra 7. Return of Ultraman. I'm not going to pull him. I'll put him back as I'm doing it. Ultraman Ace. Ultraman Toro. Ultraman Leo. Ultra 80. The Ultraman, the animated series. Ultraman Kids. Why do I own this one? I'm just gonna read them from here. I'm not pulling these all out. Ultraman Taiga, Ultraman Dyna, Ultraman Gaia, Ultraman Zerth 1 and 2, Ultra Neos, Ultra Cosmos, Ultra Nexus, Ultraman Max, Ultraman Mebius, Ultraman X Movies, Ultraman Gaiga, Ultraman Orb. I haven't watched all these yet, for the record. Ultraman Seed, Ultraman Zero, Ultraman RB, Ultraman Taiga, Ultraman Blazar, Ultraman Z again, Ultraman Trigger, Ultraman D, Ultraman Arc, the Hanna-Barbera animated one, and Gridman. What was the other question? Was it Kamen Rider? I have all the Kamen Rider released in America. I'm not going to list them all. And I also have all the Metal Heroes releases, because my favorite Toku is Metal Heroes. And I have the Super Sentai DVDs. Anyway, sorry.
Office, we got called in at the same time, and we had to we did like a tag team job waking up the administrators because they were.
Dodgermutt says our educational system is so bad that 1% of Americans oppose teaching Arabic numerals in school. Oh, 51% of Americans oppose teaching Arabic numerals in school. I get it.
They were listening. They thought it was a joke because we're goofy. We're very funny. We tell jokes all the time. And when we get called in, they're like, so you guys, do y'all really believe this? Or is this just like a comedy skit y'all are doing? And we're like, no, we really believe it. And here's why. And their mouths were open after we started
Yeah, finding out that your coworker is that crazy and stupid is pretty good.
explaining
So
things.
you
They're
started
like,
laying
wow.
out facts.
Sorry, I missed some bits. Oh, I missed the V? I suck.
They had
Yeah.
no
Oh, yeah, 56. Sorry.
comeback to them, but they're like,
None.
we have
And sorry, M. Scheffler, let me get to those. M. Scheffler said, Chair was telling us to seize the means of production. The chair needs to learn tact? I forgot the other word I'm thinking of.
to stick to the standard, to the school standard, and this isn't
Yeah.
going to work.
Pragmatism.
Now you
Yeah,
guys quit, resigned, fired. arrested. What was it?
It was almost. I think if we'd have stayed a little longer, because
It would have been all of those.
Yeah, you get more bold.
They weren't going to arrest you, but yeah, you're going to get fired. It's like, it would be like you're a math teacher and you're like, I don't believe in division. Like, what do you mean you don't believe in division? I just don't believe in it. I think it's a conspiracy. Like, yeah, you don't get to be a math teacher then. You think the earth is flat. You don't get to be a science teacher. No one's arresting you for it, but no, you are not qualified or trusted to teach children things.
You get a lot more boldness as you do this, because you realize, I can't lie to these children. There's eternal consequences for people who lie to children. Even if I say, under the pretense, I don't believe this, but I have to teach it, they're not going to listen to that first part. They're going to see the cartoons that I put out there of evolution or whatever, and it's going to stick, and they're going to believe.
Dilla Spiller says, Chair said everyone must use the communal toothbrush. Ew, no.
Believe it, and they're going to have a false foundation.
I don't even want to use, like, the idea of sharing a toothbrush with anyone in any context is disgusting.
And so I had to be very, very sneaky in how I did things, but I also knew that.
Oh, so you're admitting that you went behind the back of the administration and tried to teach children your fucking conspiracy bullshit? Okay, maybe you should be in jail. Never mind.
Sometimes if an administrator were to walk in while I'm teaching against evolution, I could get in trouble, but I can't lie. So it's one of those things that you have to risk, but you have to do it in
Yeah, you should be in jail. Fuck you. Holy shit.
a way that's not mean. It's not like, you're dumb if you believe in evolution. It's, here's what they teach, but here's where the evidence falls apart.
Okay, you're dumb for trying to be a teacher when you are this stupid and uneducated. Unironically, you should not be allowed within 100 feet of a school.
This is where new science comes along.
But wait a minute. I thought you said you have to be truthful. You can't say you're dumb if you believe in evolution, because isn't that truthful?
Yeah.
I've said this before, but when my career started and I was debunking creationists back in like 2012, 2013, I remember consistently being like, wow, creationists always say evolution is just a theory. And I'd be like, well, yeah, so is gravity. Do you think that gravity is also not true because it's just a theory? And then in the intervening time, a bunch of flat earthers came around and are like, yeah, I actually don't believe in gravity, so here we are.
Yeah.
I've learned to not use comparisons like that because the universe loves to hurt me.
It is. By the end of it, they understand, wow, you have to be dumb to believe this, you know? And so it was a fun challenge, because we have to stop looking at it like, oh, we have to be afraid. We can't be in that system. No, we can be bold and be in that system and do things and help wake up even your coworkers, which is really hard to do. But I would bring stuff up. And of course, you know, usually they'd be mean about it. If I said something about anything that went against the proof, the so-called proofs they're looking at, like embryo drawings from 100 years ago that have been debunked, you bring up.
What do you mean they've been debunked? Do you think that the only illustrations of embryos we have are from 100 years ago? We have ultrasounds now. What are you talking about?
Not that's false.
What?
It's like, not really.
We have like 3D ultrasounds. What are you fucking talking about?
You know, they just move along. They don't really fully listen to you because it's in a science book. Why would that be misleading?
It's in the science book. They got to get to the end of the chapter to finish the lesson to give the grade. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. It's crazy. I've told it many times, but one of my earliest school memories is a teacher took us out to the playground to teach us about gravity with a bucket of water and a rope, swung it around, right? And he says, that's gravity. And he had the globe right there on the brick wall. And I said to him, I said, but the water's on the outside. A little kid. I was like kindergarten or first grade.
Yeah.
I go, water's on the outside. Don't you have to turn the bucket the other way? And he showed me the highlight and he goes, this is how I was told to teach it. And that's how I'm going to teach it. And you just go, and I went and I played on the swing. That's it. I walked away.
Yeah.
But that imprinted in me.
Your teacher let you go play on the swings during a lesson? Yeah, that story didn't happen. That's not how teaching works. Yeah, you know how like an elementary school student will be like, hey, I'm not interested in this lesson. And then you go, okay, you can go over there and play on the swings. Things that don't happen? What? Chitara says, I mean, the main man Paul says evolution is real. It's right there in the temple of Paul doctrine. And as this is a religion saying this, that means evolution is true. That's how that works. Yep.
That teachers are just being told what to say, whether they understand it or not.
Right.
And
yeah, that would be a lesson on centripetal force, not gravity. That is what that sounds like. If they were doing like a bucket of water and they're swinging it around to make some sort of point. Yeah, that doesn't sound like gravity. That sounds like something about forces that are pushing outward from spin.
I think that
centrifugal, sorry. I always get those confused. I never remember which is which.
that was like a little
centripetal and centrifugal,
sending me to becoming Flat Earth Dave, talking to Michael and Josh about biblical cosmology, right? When I was anti-Bible for, the majority of my life.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Cthulhu Flower, thanks for 41 months, says no a-hole to teach against evolution. You have to lie, and lie on a massive scale about nearly every segment of modern science, including the ones that make nearly every aspect of the life you currently live possible.
Crazy. It's nuts. And when I first started talking about you guys, the trolls went crazy.
James says, teachers teach things they have studied for many years, many of which they have written original theses in. I can assure you we're not given scripts to read. They, I believe, were substitutes.
Oh, now you're targeting kids. You're a child. Targeting them with what? Truth versus lies?
No, you're a grifter, Dave. You sell your fucking app and have made over $500,000 on it. Of course you want kids to learn about flat Earth because you want to sell them your fucking app.
Yeah. Yeah, it's
You notice his app is his background, by the way? You can't see the whole thing because part of it's obscured by the frame here, but his background is literally a screenshot of his app.
With us, with stepping out of the public school, I was new. My wife did homeschool with a couple of our children, but I didn't know what
is she as stupid as you? That's a bummer. Your kids are gonna have a rough time.
Was out there and what these families are doing, because there's not a lot of options. My wife would order these curriculum science books, and it's like telling you the same repeated lies that we were taught, that Christopher Columbus was afraid he would sell off the edge, or not Christopher Columbus. People were afraid that Christopher Columbus would sell off the edge and that he went out there to prove them wrong, and that...
Yeah, that's not true. I do think that if books are still teaching children that, they should not.
He didn't find the edge.
Shilling scamming, sure, shilling scamming. I don't know if they actually still teach, like, little children that, though. I have no idea. Boop, 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 boop. Killing scamming. By the way, we're halfway through the stream. If you like the stream, do me a favor, hit the like button on YouTube. If you're watching the VOD, hype the video. And right now, in this early part of the month, we are working on getting to our tip goal. So if you want to help support the stream, you can always use the tip link and help us get closer to our goal. We're a little over $200 away from us reading Alice in Wonderland together. So consider using the tip link if you like the show and want to do more fun stuff together. Like I said earlier, also, our last tip goal of the Discord movie night is going to be the weekend of the 15th this month. So look forward to that.
Edge, you found more courage.
Yes, fuck Columbus. Even people at the time were like, fuck Columbus. Columbus was something else.
Water and landed somewhere in this new land. And these are lies. They're now admitted to be lies, but they're still in these Christian science books. And so there's not a lot of...
Oh, it might be in a Christian book, yeah. The Christian books. I went to a Baptist elementary school, so I had to read these, like, Christian books and stuff. Yeah, they have a lot of false information in them. So yeah, Christian homeschool material may still have that in there. It would not surprise me. It lags behind actual education.
Of resources out there. Anytime you buy Christian science books, they don't give you real science, and physical science and earth science is 100%. You can open the Bible and find proof for what the Bible says with the way the winds blow, with the way our air pressure works, with the way things stack up.
No, what are you talking about? There aren't scientific claims in the Bible. The Bible predates science. What are you talking about?
It's amazing. And we've been doing creation science.
Christian Science is a contradiction in terms. Yeah. Any sort of ideology and then science after it is an oxymoron. Science is a process that requires you to go in, at least attempting, to not have a bias, right? At least attempting. Or even if you do have a bias because you're a human being, it is supposed to strip away the importance of that bias by allowing you to falsify hypotheses, right? You can't go in with a direct want in mind and then adjust things to it. That's not how it works.
Science classes for the last 2 years. We're going into our third year. We're about to start our first semester on August 17th. And we have hundreds of students around the world who, where it's legal, it's only legal in a fraction of the world, but where it's legal, these people join in. And we put it to the test, and we've had skeptics. We've had couples where one husband is an atheist and one wife is a globe believer who wants her kids in this, and they go through it together. And by the end of it, the husband's awake, the children are wide awake, and we have children all.
Yeah, I'm calling just horse shit on that. Holy fuck. What kind of non-religious parent would allow their partner to impose this on their children?
Time go. I had my doubts. My parents told me this.
Doesn't the Bible put whales and fish in the same category? It does.
Stuff. I had my doubts, but now I can't unsee all the stuff we've seen.
Modern taxonomy is, well, it's modern.
And they know the globe model better than public school students know the globe model.
The reason globe people don't know their own model, because if they did, they'd be flat earthers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because
I don't recall ever learning about the speeds,
Why would you need, like, again, you may have, I don't remember if I learned that specifically at any point, but why would you need to know that as part of a comprehensive education? You can look that up. You can look it up. James with a $10 super chat says, shout out to Hannah for always supporting real science and backing up teachers like me. I get confused with the tips link, so I use super chat. Thank you.
only taught us about the orbit. They didn't teach us about it rocketing through space. They didn't tell us the numbers, the distances to Polaris. Polaris, the most important star of the sky.
Because that's what kids love, is endless numbers. Let's just list. The Earth goes around the sun at this speed. It spins at this speed. The moon travels around the Earth at this speed. Yeah, kids would be very bored. It's not information that is directly something they need to know in that moment or hold on to. So why would you teach them that? That's all information that's out there. You can just look it up. You could mention it, but it's not going to be a huge focus of the teaching.
Sky, 434 light.
Oh, I don't think I saw that tip from Green Guy. Let me take a look. Green Guy said, I had a dream last night that my brother turned into a rhino so we could fight a real rhino, but the real rhino knew jujitsu and flipped him on his ass, and he had a huge bruise when he turned back into a human. Okay.
Years away or whatever it is today. And they're thinking of
How do you know it was jujitsu? Was it just a general martial art? How would you know? Was it an anthropomorphic rhino? Because a normal rhino couldn't do a human martial art. Very different. They're not even bipedal. Jitaro with 50 bits says, even if Columbus thought he'd fall off the edge of the world, other people at the time knew that the Earth was round and proved it multiple times using the science of the day. Ironically, this is what I taught in school, that Columbus struggled to get investors because the prospective investors kept going, look at this dumbass, he thinks the world is flat. No way am I funding him. My understanding is that his calculations were based on believing that the Earth was much smaller than it was generally believed to be at the time by educated people. But I don't know. I'm not a history person.
Adjusting that by 100 light years. 100 light years. Okay, that's 450,000 light years. Okay, they're just going to adjust it. You know, we're just going to make a little adjustment because we've got this space thing nailed. We can slingshot a tin can with people in it around the moon, and it comes back with no fuel. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
and pretty much nobody was driving that thing. It's just autopiloted, right? I mean,
no one's driving that thing. The Earth's gravity can hold on to the moon. We're gliding to the moon. What about the Earth's gravity pulling on the spaceship, slowing it down? It goes around.
You you've reached escape velocity. You're beyond it. The further away you get from the Earth, the less its gravitational pull is going to affect you. And by the time you're out of orbit and traveling towards the moon, you're beyond. What? They don't understand. I've noticed this in flat earthers. They are unable to understand systems in which there are multiple vectors of force. Like, they don't understand. Sure, I'm sure there is some gravity pulling, everything in the universe pulls on everything else to some degree. That's how matter works. But, like, yes, there is a pull from the Earth on the rocket, but there's also the thrust and energy, the kinetic energy of the rocket going based on where its thrust is taking it, right? You have opposing vectors of force. It's like they don't understand it. It's weird.
On the moon like twice or something, and then it decides to leave and head back to Earth. It's so dumb. I want to talk about. Oh, good.
It's pretty crazy. There's no wings and no air resistance. Like, you're literally being pulled towards it, and there's nothing to fly up with. There's no wind or anything to push off of. So
that's not how rockets function.
Why we're on that? They were in that room moving. We saw them moving around, playing with their food, watching the Nutella fly by for its cameo and all this stuff. But then they landed in this little pod, this little tiny triangle pod. And there's no door to get in there that was.
Yeah, that's the lander. You fucking idiot. Yes, there's different parts. And then the thing that they actually splash down in is a small capsule. It's not the whole thing they were in while they were up there. Oh my. Didn't we learn Newton's law in elementary school? We were supposed to. Also, Maya Life, thank you for following. I saw that you followed yesterday, I think. Thank you for that.
Connected to where they were. So I said, like, how did they get in there? And nobody has an answer. They're like, oh, they were in there the whole time. No friggin' way. There's no way 4 people could have been in there for a day, let alone 10 days. With a toilet, a $23 million toilet. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
So, creation standard, it's amazing. I've interviewed some of your kids, and it freaked me out because I'm talking to this one little blonde girl with glasses. I thought it was a woman who had maybe been like 17, 18, 24 years old. And how old was she?
She was 10.
She's 10.
That's how smart they are. I forget that I'm talking to young children because they sit there and they're reading the Bibles. They're reading their learning materials, and they're like published authors, some of these kids.
Yeah.
And
I'm concerned if his children are literate.
They're years ahead.
If they're reading the Bible, he might want them to be literate. That's fine. I'm guessing their ideas about the world aren't very accurate.
Ahead of what I was. And you can have adult conversations with them about creation, the end times.
Yeah.
And there's no such thing as an adult conversation about the end times. Literally doesn't exist. The minute, I don't care if you're 80 years old, the minute you start talking about the end times like it's a real thing, you're a 5-year-old. Guys, let's talk about eschatology. We're going to go into my fort and we're going to talk about eschatology. No girls allowed.
They're a different breed born for this generation, I believe. Like, they were chosen for this generation. Like people like you who are leading the way, like helping to bring these people up. Like, they were born to have a faith that they're going to need with these deceptions we're seeing with the Artemis, the alien files, these demonic.
Your kids aren't going to be able to find jobs because of you. You're ruining your children's life. Socially, economically, mental health-wise. You have ruined your children's lives. Bad parenting on the bingo card. Bad parenting. Where is that one? There's.
Deceptions that we were warned about coming true, and a lot of the stuff is so much darker. Like, we could make fun of how fake it is, like the Artemis stuff, but it goes back to the Bible. Paul was preaching in the temple of Artemis, who they called, in most translations now calls Diana to kind of hide that, but that's literally the scientific name for wormwood as well as Artemisia. They've put Artemis into that, but the whole
Yes, science is full of using language from the Greeks, including gods or Roman gods, you know.
world, it says, worshipped Artemis back then, and the idol makers.
Do I think they're running or promoting gold and silver buying? That's a good question. It wouldn't surprise me. On their own channel, which I did pull up, by the way. I did pull up their channel and save it, so we'll see them in the future, too. They do have a lot of stuff, so it wouldn't surprise me.
Makers were angry because they're losing money. NASA is our idol makers for Artemis today, and they get mad that we're exposing them because they would lose money.
No, they're not mad at you. They don't know you exist. Just a Peach says, this is so creepy the way they're making it sound normal to see these children as adults. Yup, it's not good.
If everybody knew, you know.
Mm.
So it's full circle back to where Paul was. That's kind of where we are today.
So are your classes sold out? Do you have
Profane Priestess says, is it bad that I'm starting to really resent these people? Like the global right over the last couple of decades have destroyed the world. I kind of think, as bad as the optics were, Clinton was right to call these people deplorable. I'm growing so angry. You're not the only one. You're not the only one.
have room for more people? Because the reason I reached out to you the other day is over the last week, I've got several.
Do these people have no concept of naming something because it sounds cool? No, they do something that I call etymological determinism. There might already be a name for this. I'm sorry if there is. I'm just some asshole on the internet. But I call it etymological determinism. And it's the idea that, like, they think that if a word sounds like something or they can break it up in English in certain ways, they think they can decipher the meaning, and that internal meaning is objectively connected to the object or the word. They're conflating the symbol and the symbolized, and they're using weird interpretations to garner what they believe what is symbolized within the symbol. Those words made sense.
3 or more people have said, "Where I'm homeschooling my kids. Can I find information on teaching them?" And 2 of them were talking about biblical information, and I'm like, I'm sending them over to you guys. So you guys are great teachers, but you're horrible marketers.
Yes,
Okay?
exactly.
Horrible.
Yes.
You're the worst, absolute worst, because you just focus on what you're teaching. And I've told you 100 times you need to raise your price,
Pandora Goblin Sorceress, thanks for following. How you
but
doing?
you won't do it. All right. So
Yeah.
I'm telling people, you need to teach more people. So
Phoenix
Yes.
says, I'd say, Hannah, be nice to yourself, but it never works. It's not you guys' responsibility that I have severe mental health problems. That's on me.
tell them about
I appreciate the nice things you say about me, though. Thank you.
the class. Tell them what it costs. Tell them when it is. I mean, and I don't even think you need to homeschool. Like if you have your kids in public school, you definitely need to put them into this class. If you're homeschooling them, you absolutely need to put them into this class, right? And you should take it yourself. Do any adults take it?
Yes, we've had
Oh, yeah.
people
We
as
have
old
a
in
lot
their
of
80s.
Oh, this is like a whole course. Holy fucking shit. Where's the link? Do they have a link to the course? No. That's crazy. He didn't even put a link to their stuff? He has links to his app, of course, but he didn't even link to their channel. What a bad guy to do a crossover with. Holy shit. Bravo with 40 bits says, I'm sure that NASA's totally afraid of these clowns. I miss the 90s when this mess would get mocked justly. Yeah.
Families that take the classes together. I know Josh does too. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's a whole family learning this together. And
Yes, sit down.
These 3 are going to ruin so many futures. On the bright side, have you considered that, like, in 30 years, our ability to think even a little bit rationally will be an excellent skill in the job market? Maybe? Or I'll be gunned down in the street by a robot. Those are my 2 retirement plans. Either there's so many crazy people, I have a better shot at getting good jobs. 2, killed by a robot cop in the street. I'm good with either, to be honest.
Now
Students
in
and
countries
children.
where it's illegal, they're still taking these classes on top of what.
Well,
Yeah, there's
it's
students
illegal
doing.
to.
Not RoboCop. RoboCop is based and is one of the only cops for which ACAB does not apply. This is just a robot cop. Very different.
Take it for school. Like, I mean, in a place where it's illegal, they can take it as a class for fun, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So who cares what other people think? You take it for yourself, not for the state.
Yes.
So
Their courses are on creationstandard.com, and yes, it's horrible.
how much time commitment is it? If you can't make a class because it's interfering with your schedule, is it recorded? How does it work? Tell me the whole thing.
Yeah, it's perfect for people with crazy schedules because when you're a homeschool parent, you often have little programs and co-ops and things. We have
Oh yeah, Profane Priestess. I want to cover this. We're going to do another AI psychosis stream soon. Profane Priestess says, Hank Green cooked his brain on AI and I'm so disappointed. Me too. I used to love him and his brother's channels. I used to watch him all the time back in the day. If it can get him, holy shit. What is happening?
recorded lectures that are uploaded weekly.
At least it wasn't the author one.
And we have a
The Fault in Our Stars made me cry
live
in high school.
experience, a couple live experiences for each class. And so we have people around the world. So I'll have a morning session and an evening session for every class that I teach so that we could reach multiple time zones. And so if a class gets larger, I can add another slot, like if it's getting too large. So I'm not worried about growth anymore because last year we had several hundred and the year before we had a little more than that. And this year, if we were to get thousands, we could do it in the form of like webinars or whatever. We will make room for people. We're never going to turn anybody away, even for finances. We have all of our families are single income.
Crying at movies? What are you, a woman? I'm talking about the book. Cried at the book, but I also cry at movies, depending on the movie.
Families, almost pretty much all of them. And so we don't turn away people that have financial needs. So you just have to email us. It's a little slower. We have a system now where you can just pay and you get the class codes and you can join right away. We've got workbooks available.
So the cost is not an issue for anybody. You're making this available. What is the cost for somebody that can't afford it? What's the full price if somebody can't afford it?
Yeah, like Dave said, it's way too cheap. It's a priceless experience that's going to have eternal consequences.
It's a priceless experience that we have put a price on. Please give us money.
But it's $1 a day for one class. So $30 a month for one class. If you add another class, this is per family.
You can just watch Flat Earth YouTube videos. There's so many. I'm sure it's the same crap that Eric Dubay has in all his shit.
Family, not per child. That's where it's really it makes it hard on us to get by because we do it this way. But we know that the way it is with these families, it's a challenge.
Oh shit, Nemesaur, thank you for the $50 tip. Incredibly generous of you. Says every perfect square is either divisible by 4 or one more than a number divisible by 4. That is a good tip. Thank you. We're only $149 away from our tip goal. Hooray!
And so donations are always welcome, but it's $30 per family. And then for one class, if you have another class.
When you say one class, is that one class a month, a week? When is it?
They meet every single week. You have one lecture that you can join.
So it's not, I mean, saying it's $1 a day is, I'd more say it's like $7 for the week, and you get one weekly class.
But you can join more if you
So one class is four classes a month.
Yes.
Okay.
Just a Peach with $1 tip says, I got Lake Placid 2 in the mail today and Lake Placid on Wednesday or Thursday. Nice. I have Lake Placid. Just the first one, though. Chat, can I ask you something? I'm conflicted about this. I was thinking about this the other day. This is my section that is like natural horrors, animal attack films, things like that, right? We have Jaws in here, Day of the Animals, Willard, that kind of stuff. Them, Arachnophobia, you get the drill. Does Frogman count? Because he's a frog, but he's a man. Does Frogman count in natural horrors? I don't have bats right now. I do want to get bats. No? Yes. I'm getting mixed messages. See, you see my issue? You see my problem? He's in the monster section. But see, I think I have, over here, I have and is about a snake man. So I think it's gonna stay in this section for now, and then someday if I have more shelves, it'll be in a different section. But it's gonna stay in there. It's gonna stay in there. Thoughts on the movie Eight-Legged Freaks? Haven't seen it.
Live
I don't think I have that one either. Nope.
So it's 25 cents.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. I can pull it up if you want me to share my website. I could show them sort of a broad layout of the.
Where would
Sure,
Robert,
give us a brief overview.
Where would rubber go? In a section where I probably would never watch it again. Night of the Lepus. People are just listing things. Yes, I have Night of the Lepus. Where is it? It's in my mammal section somewhere. Mammals. Where's my I have Night of the Lepus. Where'd it go? Night of the Lepus. Sorry, I'm taking way too long doing this. Is the Snake Man slithery? He sure is. Dillis Filler says, my second favorite math shortcut is the shortcut for calculating grinder inches without using a coefficient. You just start measuring from the taint. I don't get it.
Make it.
I assume grinder because gay hookup app. Taint. Penis? Measuring joke?
Clear and simple for what it is. They can sign up. They can work it into their schedule. It's super inexpensive, and it's going to change your life forever. I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, and you're joining True Soldiers worldwide, and there's connections that are
Truth Soldiers.
Hey, you're not alone. We have people.
Yes, I have Forbidden Planet.
Sometimes that are neighbors and they don't even know until they register.
If I put The Happening and Natural Horror, would that be a spoiler? I already know it, so I'd put it there.
But all you
also, who cares if you get spoiled for The Happening?
have to do is click here and it'll bring you to a page where you can literally add whatever carts you want to your classroom. Like, I'll go ahead, see if it'll let me do it here.
This website looks like shit.
Well, it's not letting me do it. There it goes. Once you're here, it lets you choose your courses, and 2 courses is $50 a month. So you've already got a $10 discount when you have a second course.
Oh my god. Oh my god. It's up to $70 a month.
And then it's $60, so you have an even greater discount when you have 3 courses. And then your 5th course is free. If you go beyond 4 courses, the 5th one's free.
Man, if only we all got together as like a society or even just as states and got together and pooled our money for education for all of our children so we could come up with the best curriculum with the most up-to-date information we have available reasonably that we can then apply and have teachers come in and they'll all go to a central building, save us so much time from all these scam things.
Free, but it's $70 a month. And so it's very cheap to have all these courses, and this is per family. So you don't have to do this for every single student. So it's definitely something worth trying. If you're afraid, try it, and you can always leave, but it's something you don't want to miss out on. This is a really big experience, and my brother joined.
Wow, that's crazy. You think it's so big and so important. It's almost like you have an incentive to tell me that because you're the one selling it. Weird.
Last year, and we have to be separate because I can't afford to be his boss just yet, but he's got foundation standard because he's a math certified teacher. We both have master's degrees. He teaches math and biblical history.
Okay, so you said you have math degrees, and one of you is teaching quote-unquote biblical history. You're not even qualified for that based on your own statements. What in the fuck? No wonder they were so bad at science.
And that is a life-changing subject because it makes the Bible come alive.
Can we watch the Reptilian satanic Pacts next? Why are you assuming satanic? Are you asking me that because you need satanic on the bingo card? Why are you assuming it's satanic? Are you trying to get specific spaces? That's against the rules.
He goes in depth, looks at prophecies and things like that. And of course, my wife is now joining. I want to show you our course information here. She's joining and she's doing world history because there's a need for all these things. There's so much fake world.
Why do you think your wife is qualified to teach world history? How did she... I'd be curious what her grades in, like, high school history were. She's married to this guy, so I'm guessing they were not superlative.
World history out there, and just lies about everything, about where we came from and who we are and what we live on. And so she's going to try to go all the way to current day events and tie them into the spiritual aspect as well. And so this is something that is weekly. If I can scroll down and show you our weekly schedule here, this is usually what a weekly schedule would look like, typical, and it could change based on need, but we have a few time slots because Earth...
Green guy with a tip. Oh, it's an actual joke! He must really like imaginary numbers. Ba-doom-tsh. Here we go. That was an actual joke. Cool beans.
Foundation is usually our biggest class. It's a very basic earth science. I say basic. It covers all the biblical earth proofs as well.
The biblical earth proofs.
As the proofs of the globe, and we compare the two. We go on a journey where they're going out and looking at the stars to see if we end up on the other side of the sun in 6 months. And they...
You can still see the same stars. We're in the Milky Way galaxy. Oh my god, we're in an arm of the Milky Way galaxy. Most of the stars you're seeing are also in the Milky Way galaxy, and we're all moving together because we're in a fucking arm of... Ah!
They piece this stuff together, and we put it in a yearbook, and we catalog the stuff. We make sure people can see what they have done, and they can showcase it and share it with the world because they are bright, young, true soldiers. And our...
You know, you say it's the biblical and science, the globe science. The biblical side is the scientific side. That's the one that actually makes scientific sense.
No, it doesn't, because then that would just be what science said already.
The globe side is nonsensical scientism. It's it's.
Do we still have scientism on the bingo card? Let's take a look. Scientism, we do. Scientism on the bingo card. Dilla Spiller with 120 bits says, actual joke, have you heard the news about the corduroy pillows? They're making headlines. Mosslot says, I feel like most flat earthers suffer from the same problem, lack of understanding of scale and space. It's massive, almost incomprehensibly so. I would say it is incomprehensibly so. Even if you comprehend it, it's probably in some sort of scale sense, you know?
Everything's inverted.
Yeah, it did not. They're actual laws, and it's funny when we do firmamental. It's focused on the physical science things, Newton's laws, the thermodynamics, and things like that, and the electric properties of the heavens, and all the things that we can replicate in a.
Okay, we've seen enough of the homeschool teachers. We get it. Let's find out about those draconian pacts. Where was it? Oops. Where did I put it?
To Nino's Corner.tv. I'm with all right, folks, welcome to Nino's Corner.tv. I'm with James Gilliland.
I don't know if you guys remember Nino. We used to cover him on Chud Watch very occasionally. I think we only saw him a couple of times. So he's like a MAGA manosphere type guy. And now he's doing conspiracy stuff, so that's great.
The owner of
Why is Aslan in the Stargate? I'm sorry, they don't have a wardrobe nearby. How else do you want to get to Narnia?
a SETI ranch in Mount Adams. And there's been some really, really weird stuff going on, folks. And this guy is kind of my go-to guy about the paranormal UFO stuff. And I wanted to get your opinion on this, James. I mean, it's just so crazy. There's a lot of weird activity happening around Mount Shasta. Yeah. And in fact, I'm gonna go ahead and play a video here in just a moment. But thank you very much for joining me. And I can't wait to dive into this with you, because I was like, man, who's the go-to guy on this? And it's you.
Yeah. Yeah, if
Mosloth says, I mean, hypergamy in humans is also basically a conspiracy theory. Yeah. I don't know if you guys know this, but amongst the manosphere, it is legitimately their belief that most, if not all, women have had sex with dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of men. And to be clear, it's fine if you do that. It's just they think it's every single woman. It's crazy. It's their insecurities attacking them, and they don't even know it. Woof.
I have to lay a little background story first, but what's happening is...
See you, James. Have a good night. Can't use the I word, Mr. Duck Sauce. Sorry.
John Vivanco.
Twitch rules, not mine.
Oh, and we had a whole group remote view that
works
here as well. And it was like technically doing the technical remote viewing. You don't have any you just have a location, a number, you know, you don't have any preload or anything. And what was really interesting is that when I went inside of Shasta, it was empty. It was really bizarre. And I love Shasta. I used to go there all the time and camp at Lake Siskiyou and had amazing experiences. But I went in there and there was a couple reptilians walking around. And
Reptilians on the bingo card. It's just that easy. It's just that easy. You just got a remote view and then imagine reptilians, and boom, proof of reptilians. We did it. Guys, is seeing something in your imagination the same as evidence?
the place.
Whoa. You saw the reptilians?
Yeah. Yeah, I was doing the remote viewing. You could just go and see what's happening there.
So you saw reptilians on Mount Shasta?
Inside.
Where you didn't see them with your eyes, you remote viewed them.
No, remote viewed, yeah.
Okay.
So you didn't see them with your eyes, you saw them in your head, you know. Like your imagination. Yeah, totally. You gotta take me seriously, though. I got a Stargate behind me.
And so, you know,
what I call the Flat Earth twins idiots who think they're geniuses. At minimum, Dave is, who was interviewing them. So, yeah, idiot says they're a genius on the bingo card. Good catch. Mr. Duck Sauce with a link. See what this goes to.
What is Shasta McNasty?
What?
Hey, pass out! No! Hey! What? It's the show everyone will be talking about.
You just had this on deck in your head when Mount Shasta was said? You're like, oh yeah, Shasta McNasty, the UPN show from 1999. All right.
About this
I know, glass houses, right? Glass houses, Hannah, glass houses.
fall. Because there's something about Shasta McNasty.
Is that Jim Brewer? See, it comes back. He's like a creationist, MAGA, conspiracy theorist chud now.
They're the monkeys of the new millennium.
Oh, God, shoot me. They're the monkeys of the new millennium. I didn't like the original monkeys. Hey, we're the monkeys. It's times we like to monkey around.
Evil, but I like it. Cindy Margolis stars in the premiere. Damn! Oh my! Shasta McNasty is coming at you Tuesdays this fall on UPN.
The guy that did QAnon the musical just said that he maybe wants to come on the show and talk. That'd be fun. Would you guys be interested in talking to the guy behind QAnon the musical? If you don't remember QAnon the musical, one sec.
This is how I zero all my sites without having to go to the
Ad,
range.
sorry.
This here is the board laser zeroing kit.
Okay, so to be clear, this was from some sort of MAGA event.
To truth and justice.
And when I originally showed this to you guys, we thought it was legitimate. I thought it was legitimate because it's at a MAGA event. But in the last month or so, a trailer came out for the movie QAnon the musical. So these aren't actual right-wing QAnon believers on stage. It's a bunch of people who are in on the joke, like us, who have pretended to be into QAnon and got into an event and said, like, oh, we have this QAnon the musical. And they were basically tricking all of the MAGA people into thinking that their parody musical was legitimate. And now they're putting out a documentary about it. So Scheffler says, oh, dear God, yes.
For all.
So now we can watch this because it's funny in a legitimate, intentional way.
To my boy, Brandon, you are so special. We love you so much. And may you replenish the earth and be fruitful and multiply.
Ew.
Hey.
No matter how crazy things seem, it's all part of the plan.
Cheers.
There will come the day when things will go our way.
This is the finale song.
The righteous will seize the day.
When evil will dissipate.
Kids can go and play, safe from pedophilia. Make a world a better place. Join QAnon today. QAnon and on and on. QAnon and on and on. When you know where you belong. QAnon and on and on.
And those are laughing when you see us. All we can do is hope and pray that you will rule the day. Let the storm wash you away. QAnon and on and on and on. QAnon and on and on. QAnon and on and on. It's always darkest before the dawn. QAnon and on and on. QAnon and on and on. QAnon and
I'd be really uncomfortable doing this if I was one of the actors on the show. I'm not gonna lie. I'd be afraid they'd figure out we were making fun of them and that they'd murder us. I do think they got the exact right balance of, like, it feels like something like a small theater troupe put together. You know what I mean? Like, it's good enough that you can believe people would perform this publicly and not be embarrassed of themselves, but it's not so good that it's like, oh, they're too good. This is a joke. Like, it's on that edge of just like, yeah, this is kind of a local theater troupe type thing.
on and on. When you know where you belong. You and on and on and on.
Please stay on topic for 2 seconds. I cannot. Anyway, very funny. Back to the Reptilians.
You know, we've done a lot of remote viewing workshops here, and John said I was doing triple martini remote viewing because I was hitting everything right on the button, but you know, no pre-knowledge or anything. But And so I go, that was weird, because I usually go in there and I connect with the beings in there and get guidance or some information about what's going on. I mean, it was nothing. And when I tuned into these two guys walking around down there, which were dark and kind of ugly, their energy was really bad. And I go, hey, what's going on? You know, I said, any updates, any information? They just really rude. They just went, no, like this. And I went, whoa.
Who said no to you? The reptilians or just
Reptilians? Yeah, they know you're remote viewing them. They figured it out. But
they have true sight. They can see when you scry on them.
wow.
Yeah. And so I go,
I've heard this before from Elizabeth April, who's been on my show.
yeah.
And she has said that.
Oh yeah, she's in a lot of conspiracy stuff. She talks about reptilians. She's kind of like a dirty blonde, hair colored. She talks very like calming. She's like that.
That she is remote. These things do exist. They are underground.
Other people have also in their heads imagined the same thing I did after we talked about the thing I imagined. So that's basically proof. Jitara says, Manosphere and I-word shit is one of those subcultures I find interesting in the sense that it's so harmful and ridiculous. They have so many terms for stuff. They call it, quote, riding the cock carousel, because they think every woman has slept with hundreds of guys by the age of 25. They, of course, have no proof for this, quote, trend other than vibes, and trust me, bro, stalemates from Manosphere influencers. Super gross. Yeah, it's fucked up.
Mainly, right?
And frankly, they're stupid and are getting taken in by claims that prey on their insecurities. It's really, really fucked up.
Yeah.
So they've been always in kind of a control behind the scenes, right?
Exactly. Yeah. And so anyway, so John got the same thing, and other people remote viewed and got the same thing. And people go, what do you have against Shasta? I said, nothing. I love Shasta. This is just what I saw. And what I found out was that they kind of packed up and left. The Lemurians and the Hyperboreans, they call them, that were living inside the mountain, packed up and left because there was so much reptilian intrusion, black ops intrusion, a lot of alcohol, a lot of drugs, partying energy. It just was really messing with them.
Even with Trump being in office.
Yeah.
So
this was a while ago. This was a while ago when this happened, when they left.
Okay, so I'm gonna play this video just real quick so people they're probably wondering what the hell these guys talking about.
Yes, they're saying the mountain is hollow and that there's a secret lab inside or something.
Okay.
Well, this is in Mount Shasta, and this is somebody has put speakers, I mean, just littered all over Mount Shasta, playing these really ominous kind of.
Is Lemuria some shit from Conan the Barbarian stories? Are you thinking of Hyperborea?
Creepy sound.
Wait, no. Am I thinking of something different? I don't know.
Sounds.
I've not read the Conan books. I'm only familiar with the films.
That's getting a lot of attention, and this stuff's going viral all over the internet. I'm going to go ahead and play it right now. Here we go.
We just came across this noise that we heard. We're going up this hill, and you can hear it in the background. I'm going to show you. It's a little freaking creepy. Hold on. It's creepy. There's a mountain.
Hyperborea is a Nazi thing? Ah, bummer. Lemuria was a proposed past continent used for the explanation of the modern range of lemurs. Ah, okay. That explains the name. Lemuria! Is that real, or are you making that up as a joke? I can't tell.
And look at, there is another 100 of them out there, but it's like this Lemurian beacon system.
What about it is Lemurian? What?
I have no idea. Somebody put a lot of effort into this. I guess they're solar powered.
So you said something about the Lemurians, correct?
What are you even is this? Just a Peach with a tip says the manosphere math is wild because the guys who are having sex could not have jobs because it would take them 8 hours a day, 7 days a week, even if they're only spending 30 minutes with each woman. 30 minutes? What, are you in love with her? Would probably be the answer to from Manosphere people. Lennon Cat with 40 bits says Hyboria is the Conan one, Hyperborea is the Nazi one. All right. I'm not going to remember that. I'm never going to remember that.
Yeah.
Unless I get really into Conan at some point. Who knows? I'm into Tarzan books. Maybe I'll get into Conan. I don't know.
Yeah. They, what happened is they left. And so because they left, now you're dealing with all these reptilian energies that are there. And they've had literally hundreds of people that have been abducted there, missing people just vanish out of nowhere. They come back. A couple have come back with serious damage to their ear, you know, where just like the bins, you know, coming up really fast. Been a lot of problems. There are hundreds of reports of this happening. And so what I think is going on there is one of two things. One is, I mean, there's a lot of women that go up there that have lost their kids up there, and they're still going up trying to find closure and find out what's going on, and really upset about it. And
I'd be upset if I lost my children on a mountain too.
I think somebody is probably trying to, one of two things, keep people out of there, or trying to do some kind of frequency grid work there to drive away these reptilian or these
frequency grid work, vibes-based conspiracy on the bingo card. Vibes-based conspiracy.
Negative entities that are doing all the abductions up there. But I mean, these are police files that we're talking hundreds of people up there that just vanished or were harmed. You know, they even found some pretty brutal things happen up there too as well. But
yeah, you go hiking around a mountain, some people are maybe going to go missing or get injured. There might be mountain lions. I have no idea what this area is like. I may be describing it completely fucking incorrectly. I have no idea. There's many reasons people go missing that aren't aliens or reptilians or whatever.
I've heard, Mount Shasta reptilian base, and then I've also heard of Superstition Mountain.
Yeah.
That's also a lot of a high activity there as well.
It's literally called Superstition Mountain. Come on. It's the Supernatural Mountain. It's where all the cranks think a bunch of weird stuff happens. If I wrote that in a book or in a D&D game, it would be lazy.
Well, a lot of people go missing, and I think they go searching for the Dutchman's gold.
Bobcats are common in Cali. Thank you.
Or something like that, correct?
Yeah, I went hiking up through there, and I left pretty quick. I just got my spidey senses went off, my neck.
You don't have spider senses. You have not been bitten by a radioactive spider. If you did, you'd probably die, because real life isn't like comics. Either way, vibes are not a reason to believe something. You do not have superpowers.
Started, and I go, there's reptilians here.
Real life is so unimaginative. Do you have any idea how many rivers are basically called the river? Or the lake? TT?
Feel we were being watched, and I go, this isn't good. And I called on the higher beings to keep an eye on us, till we got out of there. But you could feel the energies. There's definitely something based there that's not positive.
That's scary, man. I pass by there a lot. I think it's in between Tucson and Phoenix, isn't it?
Yeah, I hiked up there and to check out all the petroglyphs and everything else. And it was kind of funny because I saw a big old Gila monster and a pretty good sized rattlesnake on the trail.
Ah, so reptilians must be afoot. They always travel with their pets.
And I'm kind of used to that because I was raised in the desert. So I wanted to almost take the Gila monster home as a pet, but I figured better just leave him on his own, But the there's places you know, like the Bradshaw Ranch and Skinwalker Ranch, things like that, you just want to stay clear of. There's multiple layers of things going on. A lot of it, the land has been cursed because of what happened to the Native Americans. There's underground.
He believes in aliens and curses. See, that's the stuff that I find fascinating, is the worldview of these people. Like, they think they live in a world where, like, all fictional things are true. Like, aliens are real, sci-fi is real, magic is real, demons are real. Like, it's so interesting. They live in a reality in which all fictional concepts are at least potentially true. What a weird world to live in.
ET activity there, and they're not positive. You know, they're the negative variety.
So, you know, I've been looking at a lot of this stuff, and I know the government's been coming clean with a lot of the...
Are streamers real? I hope not. If I'm real and I don't cease existing when this camera turns off, what a nightmare.
The UFO files.
No. I'm subjective. I only exist when you're watching me. Luckily. Not like you poor people that have to go exist out there in the real world. Ugh. I'll live here on the internet, where I belong. Jitara says, or how many surnames are just job descriptions where a person is from? My surname is just the name of the river a bunch of people lived on, which coincidentally was just another word for water.
The disclosure, and it just seems to me like we are now living in a time where this stuff is not just woo-woo anymore. You know, this is not conspiracy anymore. Like, the government's coming clean. And
when did the government say reptilians are real?
And they're saying that these things exist, that, you know, this is real. Reptilians are real. This is not just something we're just, ooh, this sounds crazy, poppycock type of weird stuff. No,
it's literally that. You're literally describing what you're doing.
Real stuff. And I think very soon, as we find out technologies from these beings and how it's used, that what you're saying about remote viewing and, you know, telepathy and psychic warfare, all this stuff is real, right, James?
Okay. Yeah. Even psionics?
It is. And there's a lot of people that are untrained. They haven't had any self-mastery training, and they just let in.
This fucking desert bum, though, this crazy desert bum certainly has a lot of self-mastery training. Do you know how much self-mastery it took to put that lion stock image in that Stargate PNG?
Anything come in, and there's a lot of people don't even realize they have reptilians connected to them and other unseen negative influences. It's just replete. And right now we're in kindergarten, considering what we're being told. The bigger picture is these beings coming in now some of them are like godly. The only way they're just unbelievable. They're kicking butt and cleaning this stuff out. And
I didn't vote for them.
And so they're down to about 1% of the reptilians left.
So what are the...
Interesting. You believe that the Nordics, the blonde-haired, blue-eyed Aryan aliens, are the ones cleaning everything up. Wonder why that's where your brain would go.
Reptilians to you, are they...
The symbolic order is broken. We need to break it all down and rebuild it from scratch. Who's with me? Let's go.
Kind of like, do they go and they're parasitic? They go
in the new symbolic order. Butterflies will symbolize death. All right, you guys can figure out the other ones.
Take over a planet. They're like termites. They kind of hollow out the planet and live underground and just kind of...
Most of the mass of the planet is the interior. They're hollowing it out and we didn't notice? Oh boy, did they hollow out the part that creates our magnetosphere? That would not be good.
Run things from underground and then shapeshift. Would they be called the skinwalkers? Are they the ones that shapeshift into humans? I mean, do they hold...
All right, enough of Nico's bullshit. All right. I do have this one. This is the one that's actually about the Pact.
if humanity's
Actually, before we do it, I have to pee real quick again. I'm sorry. While I'm gone, Cher will tell you about, Under the Silver Lake. If you're interested in conspiracy theories and conspiracy believers and weird belief systems... Oh no, why did this get damaged? Alright, I don't know what happened there. Either way, Under the Silver Lake with Andrew Garfield. Great movie, check it out. I think it's on streaming somewhere, I don't know where, but please watch it. If you're into conspiracy stuff, watch it! It's so good. Alright. Let's do this Draco Reptilian Pact thing. It's streaming on Amazon Prime. Would recommend. Check it out.
next leap isn't about technology, but about breaking free from control and raising consciousness. Today on Cosmic Disclosure, we're joined by Sebastian Martin to explore the Draco, the Palladians, and the coming shift from 3D to 4D.
Dimensions beyond our own on the bingo card. I hate that 3D, 4D stuff. It's basically just a new way of saying enlightenment. They just know that when people say, oh, it's enlightenment, you have to reach enlightenment, people laugh at it, so they just changed the nomenclature, basically. Dimensions beyond our own.
I'm Josh Golombeski, MUFON field investigator, and your guest host today. Sebastian, welcome back to the show.
Well, thank you for having me back again, Josh.
Of course, I'm excited to continue this conversation. All right, so the first question is, what are the biggest challenges or problems that humanity will face as we transition from 3D to 4D?
The biggest challenge that we'll be facing will be extracting ourselves from the 3D reality of monetary system, the technologies we use and take for granted today, and that we embraced without questioning.
Yeah, we can do a bingo check soon.
What else could come next and what could be better than what we have today. So people are feeling very comfortable with the idea of using the existing technologies without questioning what's out there or what could be potentially be used to help humanity in general. So I think that once we extract ourselves from this mentality, we will be able to move further in the evolutionary process, because currently, like, what I believe is the Draco Reptilian race that's impacting humanity and world governments. They have their own agenda. You can imagine the way I saw things is that the Draco race...
3D versus 4D, what? I guess I should explain that for people who are less familiar with this concept in conspiracy theories. So you'll hear conspiracy theorists often talking about 3D, 4D, 5D. I think I've heard up to 6 or 7D, but usually they're concerned with 3, 4, and 5. The idea is that we exist in 3 dimensions, right? We live in a world where we perceive things in 3 dimensions. Height, depth, width, you know? X, Y, Z axis. They believe that that is normie stuff. That's normie stuff, okay? When you get enlightened, when you learn the truth, sort of like a Gnostic thing, this like secret, sacred truth that you can come across, and if you learn it, and if you deeply understand it, you can become heightened. You become a higher level being, right? So you are no longer operating in the 3D normie space. You are in 4D. You're operating in an extra dimension of enlightenment, all the way up to like 5D, where you're like fully enlightened and you're basically an enlightened master, which is, what is that? Theosophy? I think that's a theosophy thing. They're kind of borrowing from theosophy a little bit.
Has a direct impact on...
Isn't the 4th dimension time? It is called that, yes. Depends on if we're talking about spatial dimensions.
I would say secret...
But like in H.G. Wells's The Time Machine, time is described as a 4th dimension, and that has generally gone on to be a thing that we describe as, because, you know, when you're talking about coordinates, you need a location, height, width, and depth. But if you were saying, hey, I'll meet you at the McDonald's on such and such street, that's not enough information. You also need to know a time. So that's sort of the 4th dimension. You are meeting someone in a location, but not just physically, temporally, there is a destination as well.
Societies mainly, where they can portray themselves as like a god of some sort that human can relate to and worship. And this is, to me, very, very real. And also, you can see that through various symbols that you can see through the media or even in the pop culture. You know, you have all these symbols that keep popping up.
Like what specifically?
Like the signs that they use. They have various symbols that they use on TV.
Nicely explained. I have this many time travel movies. I've heard that speech a lot.
That's basically to help.
Just wait until I have to explain black holes to someone, guys. You're not gonna fucking believe this. What if... Oh my god. Guys. This is such an original... Okay, what if we were here, and you wanted to get here? Oh, that's a distance. But what if you folded space-time and you punched up... Fucking hell, Christopher Nolan, kill me.
Promote their secret society agenda.
Would I recommend Primer? Depends on what kind of time travel your movie you're into. It is slow. It does not feed you all the answers. You kind of have to piece it together yourself. It's not an exciting film, but it's a very interesting film in a attempt to make time travel plausible way.
And that's to do with embedding our society.
You like movies like that, then you'll probably like Primer.
With that 3D reality and with that...
What's the most I've ever gone to a theater in a single year? Oh, back when I was probably when I was a teenager and had a car, I would drive to the theater and just see movies myself all the time. So I don't know the exact number, but it used to be a lot. I've not seen The Man from Earth. It's on my list though.
Changing it. So again, it's a way to keep us under control.
Mm-hmm.
So we don't evolve as quickly as...
Best time travel movie is Predestination. Predestination is pretty good. Predestination is based off of the short story All You Zombies. I do enjoy that one. Ethan Hawke's in it. Check it out. Predestination. 4 stars. Check it out.
As we should be. We have all the tools today to merge from 3D to 4D. More and more people are being aware of that, but we are being refrained from going there because of the current agendas, and the worldwide governments do not want humanity to evolve fast or faster. So everything is timely. However, the Draco Reptilians are also doing that for their own purpose. without breaking the treaties in place with the Galactic Alliance.
Yeah, I want to know about that. How are they able
Yes.
to do this without breaking the protocols?
Yeah, so because they don't really
Sorry, Jitara, looking for your bits.
harm us in person, of course, they still do.
Jitara said, such arrogance of these space aliens to think their fourth dimension even remotely compares to our glorious and beautiful third dimension. They're just lucky that we don't do Jello hods anymore.
Do their own things behind closed doors the same way as the Pleiadians will help, like the US government, for example.
Can we agree that the early 2000s version of the Time Machine stinks? There are parts of it I like. I'm sorry.
Behind closed doors.
It's not a good movie. It's not a good movie. But I'll pull it out every couple years.
So humanity does not really know what's going on because it's not public. As long as it's not public, it's still within the realms of respecting the treaties in place for the Galactic Alliance.
Okay.
So if the Draco Reptilians have their own agenda and they can use different means to achieve what they want without disrupting the balance, then
Why do they give a fuck about the balance?
no, they can do their own thing. And to be honest with you, I got involved with that personally when I got attacked by a Draco Reptilian.
Oh my god, you were attacked by one? Do you have any evidence?
Yes. And when I got attacked and when I got saved for my second attack when I was in New York.
Wait. So what do you mean by attack?
I was attacked physically. Like basically I had a wound on my leg. So when I was in New York, I came back to my
Surprised I'm not making French jokes? None of what he said is funny. None of what he said is funny in a French way. It's all funny in a conspiracy way.
bedroom, and I had this massive gash on my leg, and it came out of nowhere. And so, it was not deep enough that it would bleed, but it was red enough that it could potentially bleed.
Do reptilians speak French? No, all reptilians have synesthesia, and French tastes awful.
So it was that deep. And then, so I still had the shower, came to bed, and when I went to bed...
Did we get believes they speak to aliens regularly? I'll count that. Sure. Believes they speak to aliens regularly on the bingo card.
I could feel the attack. And I had something in my body, so that was...
Can I see the scar?
And I knew this was from the Draco Reptilians as well.
Okay.
So when I closed my eyes, I could see that floating, almost like peel that looked like green and white, that was floating within my bloodstream. But I knew, like intuitively, right away, that it was directly connected to them.
Okay.
And I also believe that this weapon that was used against me was not from a Draco Reptilian, but from a human being that was working for the Dracos.
Sure. Lennon Cat with 40 bits says, I love how this stuff is always above top secret info and the government doesn't want anyone to know, but these people know it and the government doesn't do anything to stop them because they're the main characters in a movie. Obviously, the main character can't just get killed.
Right?
Okay.
So they are using people within even the US government to achieve their own agenda. Doesn't mean that they work for CIA or for the SSP or anything else, but they have their own little secret societies and organizations that allow those human beings to interact with us.
So we're talking about the Draco, and it seems like they have an influence, obviously, over humanity, but a lot of people speculate about the Dracos and their influence. Can you go deeper on that for me?
Yes, sure. So the Draco Reptilians, I believe, is been covered by other people too, but their influence on this planet is to further their agenda to take over humanity. They want to potentially control the world through their manipulation. They have different ways to do it that way. Like they have technologies, for example.
Why is the background just crates? What's the vibe of just it being crates? Is it supposed to be like secret? Like, you guys remember the end of Raiders of the Lost Ark, right? It's like that.
Like using vaccines, that's one of them.
Oh.
They're an anti-vaxxer, wow. I'm shocked!
And the reason why is because the way they can connect to us easily will be through telepathy, obviously, but also accessing our network. And so if we have the same components within ourselves, then it's way easier for them to link us together and create a network, or let's say a database, even like a virtual database of humanity, and how they can relate to them and know where they are, It's almost like a tracker. Let's put it that way.
So wait, you be talking about like a consciousness network they're tracking? What do you mean by network?
Yes, it is a consciousness network for them.
Okay.
So they can track us down and they know where we are.
Oh, I don't like that.
So, you can
Wait until you hear about your cell phone.
can think about the same way with the US government tracking people and putting implants in them. They are doing the same thing to us. So for a future agenda. So like this agenda for them probably started in 2020.
This is a recent agenda?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. People.
I always find it funny how grandiose they imagine stuff like this is. Like, oh, they're putting trackers and stuff. If there were space aliens that came to Earth and they were putting trackers and stuff in humans, it would not be a grand scheme to and this is just we're talking in the land of fiction now. This is just narrative, but this is how I think about it at least. Why would aliens come all the way to Earth to fuck with our social structures or anything? It'd be much more likely if there were aliens that much more advanced than us that they can do interstellar travel. They would likely view us the same way that we view animals. Like, we'd be lucky if they viewed us as chimps. You know what I mean? Like, they might just be doing wildlife surveys, basically. Oh, pick them up, put a tracker on them. People do that with animals all the time. Again, I don't think there's space aliens that can or ever have visited Earth. But if they were, why do they assume that we'd be on the same level? And that they would take our political structures and way of life very seriously to the extent that they would feel the need to change it? Like, if I interact with, an anthill, I don't care about the social implications of what I'm doing to the anthill. It's an anthill. You know what I mean?
We'll talk about the Draco have been involved with us for a millennia.
Of course, yes, and they have.
But they've changed their game.
They're changing their way. They're changing their way of controlling humanity. And I think it's also because they also know that we are evolving as a species. They are as aware as us about cosmic events that would happen. They know that that could reflect how it will impact their control over humanity if we evolve from 3D to 4D. As we become more powerful as humanity, evolves to that level of consciousness, then we become more of a threat or harder to control. So they had to change their game. They had to adapt to the evolutionary process of humanity because they didn't really quite know how the Pleiadians, who are also right now helping the US government, are going to be impacting humanity as a whole.
Okay.
So everything is...
He's barely added anything to this.
In motion. Everything
I hate Gaia.
Is moving.
This is from Gaia, that crank streaming service.
They have so many moving parts, and the Dracos are aware of that, and so they're adapting their role and their methods.
This part actually might get edited out of the YouTube VOD later, because sometimes they don't like if I cover their stuff.
To achieve better control over humanity.
So this is an inflection point where they have to jump in now if they want to reach their agenda.
Yes.
So this gets into the whole thing you were talking about earlier about protocols and galactic laws. Yes. So they're going to start...
Let's not start talking about protocols on Tinfoil Tuesday. We know where that ends.
Breaking those laws? And what's the consequence? If they break the laws, is there a consequence for them, or is this just like an agreement they have?
That is a very good question. In fact, the protocols that we talked about will almost become irrelevant. It almost seems like the treaties in place only last for so long and under certain circumstances. So when cosmic events occur, it seems that those treaties no longer apply.
They're out there in the universe on their own planets now, but are they still underground here living as a society?
Yes. Okay. In fact, the Dracos have their own spaceships and everything else. They created havoc in the universe.
Why do they always think reptilians are living underground? I never really considered this, but there's this constant theme of reptilian beings living under the earth. Reptiles don't usually live underground, do they? I guess maybe certain snakes have little burrows and stuff. But generally they're cold-blooded, so they need sunlight, right?
And not just in the past, I'm talking about the future too.
I know there was an early 20th or late 19th century news hoax from California that claimed that there were reptilians living under the ground. But, is it all originated from that hoax article? it had to be other sources too. It's just crazy to me to think that that one news article or a couple articles about the same hoax would proliferate this far into the general ideas about reptilian creatures.
Talking about the Pleiadians had wars with the direct reptilians on their own home planet. Their home planet got
Many reptilians do burrow, usually in deserts. Okay, thank you, Tensetsu.
exploded. And so that's why most of the Pleiadians today in the future, live on spaceships.
Okay.
Because they have massive fleets.
Lennon Cat with 40 bits says, excuse me? Land of the Lost theme song now stuck in my head. Thanks. I'm gonna be thinking about pylons.
And they colonized other worlds as well. But they mostly...
I don't have Land of the Lost. Has that ever been released on Blu-ray? I really would like Land of the Lost. On the greatest adventure.
Live in space and, wandering around and trouble.
It's Lovecraft again. He used that story as the basis for his Serpent Men of Yig and the burial mounds of the American Midwest. Okay, I see.
Around, basically.
Well, this brings up the question of
there is usually, for stuff like this, I've noticed some either literary or cinematic source for bits of canon like that, for bits of the mythos. When they're that widespread, usually it was stolen from a book or a movie or something.
How are there competing agendas, the Pleiadians and the Draco? Like, how does that play out on Earth, and especially in conjunction with us, with humanity?
The Draco Reptilian is we already talked about this. The agenda is very simple. They want to take over the planet Earth. They want to basically convince the worldwide governments that this is the only way out. Like, this is your way of evolving to a dominant race. So you have to think about one thing: why humans who work for various governments agree to help the Draco Reptilians' agenda. Why? Because they've been given powers. They've been given safety for a future. Many secret societies, for example, learn, and I know that from Pacts, that some of them are...
Original Land of the Lost was shot on video, so it's unlikely a Blu-ray release is available. There are some things that come out in standard definition on Blu-ray. For instance, I have a copy of King Arthur's the 90s cartoon, or the 80s cartoon. That's standard definition on Blu-ray. Sonic X came out, I think, on standard definition on Blu-ray. At least the earlier Sonic shows did.
So given the powers of immortality.
Really?
Yes.
There's people alive today who are considered immortal?
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. And those people are full-blown...
Yeah, Knights of Justice, thank you.
Secret Society members, and they are completely part of this agenda, and they support it.
Oh, there it is. Land of the Lost. Oh, this is a bootleg. Nothing against it. I'm not the cops. What am I here to enforce copyright law? No, I don't give a fuck. I try and avoid bootlegs when I can, though. They usually don't play as well, and they don't last as long. Anyway, let's see what we're gonna do. We probably have time for like one more. Don't go to jail for your entertainment. Can you guys imagine the irony of me being arrested for copyright infringement when I have given more money to the entertainment industry than the vast majority of human beings that have ever existed? Be a little funny. Green Guy with a $3 tip says, Hannah, do you ever toss some cookies in a bowl and pour milk over them and eat it with a spoon? I think I've done that once before. It wasn't as good as you'd think. Maybe it depends on the cookie. Like Tate's cookies that are really crispy, like crunchy, those would maybe work. Soft cookies it doesn't work with, though. I'm not a big fan of soft cookies anyway, unless they're fresh baked. So go over the bingo card real quick. We're almost done, but still. Misunderstanding of the scientific method, scientism, reptilians, the deep state, bad parenting, 9/11 out of nowhere, Hannah mentions Blu-rays, Idiot says they're a genius, shilling scamming, dimensions beyond our own, vibes-based conspiracy, overt anti-Semitism, flat Earth, this is Marxism, socialism, communism, and believes they speak to aliens regularly. Did I ever have the cookie cereal? Yeah, but those aren't really cookies, right? I know they're trying to trick children, but just so you know, Cookie Crisp is not actual cookies. Anyway. Has the flavor profile of a cookie, kind of. This video is entitled, How to Turn Women On Based on Astrology.
For Aries, they will leave you if you lose your bag.
Damn.
And by the way, you want to attract the Capricorn woman? You know what you do?
What?
I'll show you exactly what you do.
What do you do?
That's porn to him. That's porn to a Capricorn.
More manosphere bullshit, but tied to conspiracy woo-woo.
Straight up. Capricorn. Why do you think you have Benjamin Franklin on here? He's a Capricorn.
Yeah. The Federal Reserve makes decisions on who goes on what bills based on astrology.
That's why I call it Capricorn capitalism.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, baby. That's how it works.
This is one of the guys from Fresh and Fit, by the way. I don't know if this is fresh or fit. I don't care, but this is what's going on.
So,
oh yeah, not how women work. Did we not already have not how women work on the bingo card? Let me take a look. That's not how women work on the bingo card. These general statements about women are so fucking crazy.
Let's talk about some of the signs since we're off TikTok. They're a little bit easier to shop in than others.
So Capricorn is one?
No, Capricorn is definitely not one. They're actually pretty prudes, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I like, for instance...
yeah, we can't judge people as individuals. Let's decide based on their birthday what their personality is. That's super smart.
A Capricorn woman is more interesting.
Like, how do people like this explain, like, twins that are completely different personalities? You know what I mean?
In security than she is into
Artemis8192, thanks for 65 months, says, I have a wonderful cleanse for us. The second half of the song is the next video posted by this account.
Well, it's got 4 tires and it looks like...
I'm going to hold on to that until the end of the stream. We're getting there. First, I do want to do the numerology thing, if I can find where we were. There he is.
Pacts or having sex or anything like that. They want to make sure their man has potential and a bag. Some of the looser signs would be like Sagittarius. Like, for instance, every sign has a spot, okay? And Sagittarius's are right here.
Oh, don't put your nasty feet on the table with your trashy pile of $100 bills, you fucking loser. It's always funny to me when people are like, look at all my money! And I'm just like, that should be in a Roth IRA, sir. That is not money working for you right now.
I see my sexy foot.
Oh, God.
Okay, so here it is.
Oh, God.
Man. Here it is. I want you guys to understand something. All you have to do is massage a Sagittarius's foot. They're open like 7-Eleven, bro.
I'm glad I'm a Pisces.
Straight up. Sages love foot massages. Do you want some free game out there?
So foot fetish?
Just if anyone is born in...
Oh my God, wait, you are a Sagittarius! Oh my God! Well, there it is.
The time of the Pisces, they are very susceptible.
Yeah, I can confirm, by the way, yeah, no, Baja Sagittarius, no foot stuff. No foot stuff is involved in anything.
to getting their feet rubbed. Now, for instance, if it's a Gemini woman, rub her shoulders. That's their spot. They love it.
Oh my god, people just like massages and shit. Whatever, dude.
They absolutely love it. So let me...
Physical touch. Yes, physical touch is the thing. It doesn't matter if it's like feet. I'm not a big fan of having like my feet touched, but like whatever. It's feet, you know? But like being massaged and stuff, yeah, that can be sensual. That can be something. But frankly, if you're already at the part where she's okay with you massaging her, you're probably good. Like, I'm trying to imagine a situation if I was single in which I'd be comfortable with a man that's at my house, like, massaging me, but I'm not interested in them physically. Basically, the only example would be if I hired a masseuse to come to my house. It's funny that he's like, yeah, you just gotta rub her all over, and then for sure she'll be into you. Guy, if she's letting you rub her all over and she's into it, she already liked you, you idiot. You goddamn moron.
Let me show you how this works, man. Fresh, put your hands like this.
Bro, it's better be some chill shit.
No, actually, take all this stuff off first.
Dog.
Trust me, it works. It works, man. Just trust me.
All right, man.
I'm trying to get the chat involved, man.
No, I don't know what's happening.
Just go like this. Just go like this.
Yeah.
Then slowly take your hands apart. Then put them back together, but don't touch. Do that a couple times. Slowly.
Bro, what is this, bro?
Do you feel some energy between your hands? Be honest.
No, you fucking moron. Everyone is so stupid. Why is everyone so stupid? Am I crazy? Am I in a coma? What's happening? Why is everyone a fucking idiot?
I feel something.
Yeah, you feel something. So what that is you're actually supercharging your hands right now with the energy.
These people are millionaires. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. Things aren't okay. They'll never be okay again. I hate you. I hate you too.
Energy within them. So what you do is you go like this, do this for about a minute, and then you touch that woman in her spot. She'll fucking love it.
Really?
Yeah, bro. These are tricks of the trade that I used to do when I was back in my 20s and stuff like that. Now, see, I'm married, and I can't actually use these skills anymore. Could you imagine being like a Michael Jordan, but you can't play basketball anymore? It is.
Your wife has bad decision-making skills.
That's what it is. So what I'm basically trying to tell you guys, use this information, and even your sorry ass might be able to get a woman.
Yeah, I do think there's points you can touch a woman to turn her on for sure. I mean, there's also always the neck, the ear, behind the ear.
Yeah, the neck is the Taurus.
Yeah.
So if someone's born in a Taurus, you give them neck.
No, it has nothing to do with their birth date, you freak.
Massage, man.
Okay.
Now, you know what the difficult one is?
Yeah, does he not pleasure his wife? That is kind of funny.
What?
Cancer. Because cancer is like right here, the chest, right? So I can think of a good.
Famously, only people under the sign of Cancer like their breasts touched. What? And everyone with the Cancer sign loves having their breasts touched. It depends on the person. Different people have different people are individuals.
Excuse, but like, oh baby, what's that in your hair? You know, just gently rub her, and then the Aries spot is right here. Or someone's a Gemini. Hey, what's up, girl? But if someone is a Cancer, can't really touch these now, can you?
Nah, that'll be considered assault.
And by the way, Cancer women, they don't need breast implants. I'll leave it there.
I would argue that she should like you at least somewhat, though. Before
breast size is not determined by your birth date. There isn't a different distribution of breast size for people depending on what time of year they were born. What are you talking about, you moron? Oh my god. If it was like literally any other point in history, these people would be starving. Me too, but still.
You touch her. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least a little bit. She should like you.
Depends.
I think the worst thing we ever did as a society was allow people to talk for a living. I say that as part of the problem. The fact that we're able to sit here and just fucking and we make money has been a disaster for the human race.
Depends what country you're in.
It's not your cooked.
Again, it depends what country you're in.
Hey, man, just saying. Okay, we got another super chat here.
Let's do it.
Darwin Molina says, I was born on February 1st, 1997. I'm from Columbia, living in Boston, Massachusetts. Any advice for next year?
February 1st. That's the second February 1st we had, 1997.
1997, yeah.
So is that a rat or ox? Someone please check real quick.
Noble, if you could check real quick.
Yep, so we have a 11 life path. And I'll keep saying this about 11s. They are the old souls, man. The 11s have went through all the lessons in the reincarnations of the 1 through 9. So when you're an 11, you're going to be tested with basically emotion. 11s are extremely emotional people. And that is their biggest challenge in life, controlling their emotions and not letting their emotions control them. Could you imagine being a woman and being with a man who's more emotional than you?
Damn.
Be with the
That would be fine.
11, you'll see what that's like. 11s are extremely emotional, and that is their life challenge. So for this person, their life challenge would be someone that control their own emotions. What is it? A rat? So as a rat, and there's a big difference between a rat and an ox. A ox is going to be in your face. A rat has other people do its dirty work for him. That's why Israel was founded in 1948, the year of the rat. Understand how that works? They understand how that works. People have different signs. America was founded in 1776. Guess what? The rat and the monkey are friends. America and Israel are friends.
The United States of America, as it currently exists as a constitutional republic, didn't really come into existence until 1789. Because at first we attempted to organize under the Articles of Confederation, and that went very badly. So then they wrote the Constitution and ratified that.
Like how that works? Yeah. You like that now? That's how it works. Funny. So we can go anywhere and you use...
Hannah puts head in hands on the bingo card.
This knowledge. So as a rat, the rat's greatest ability is to sense danger. And they're also very manipulative if they want to actually use that ability. But as an 11 rat, you're going to be able to sense things that no one else can sense. Quite frankly, you're in a 3-year cycle, and this is your year to be social. Next year, watch out for law and order. Watch out for anything that could impede your freedom. And in 2027, I expect you to travel.
Okay.
Any others?
That's it for now.
If you want any super chats, it's 98 or above.
All right, let's go ahead and get into the clips again. So we covered...
I don't know about that one, Lady Anne. Other countries recognized us as a country before that. Britain didn't have to acknowledge it. Frankly, I would argue them leaving and stopping fighting the Revolutionary War is an acknowledgement, effectively. I don't know.
Circa sneak.
The War of 1812 did happen. Fair enough. Okay, that's what you're talking about anyway. Okay, fuck.
Go. The next one should be, I believe, Conor McGregor. Yeah, so we spoke about it earlier, but he's actually running, planning to run for president of Ireland. So, yeah, I wish him the best, man.
He's got my vote.
He's going to have a lot of haters, of course, because of who he is. And, of course, people don't want to see you win. But, again, with a good family.
Did he just say whores? Did I mishear that?
Planning to run for president of Ireland. So, Yeah, I wish him the best, man.
He's got my vote.
He's gonna have a lot of haters, of course, because
Haters.
Tweet.
Sorry, he's on Fresh and Fit. I'm used to them being really sexist.
and of course, people don't want to see you win.
So far, Haley 34, Abdul 62. With how many districts reporting out of total? What percentage of districts reporting?
But again, with a good fan base, you can almost always count on them to back you in that fight. So shout out to him. What's the next one?
Only 3% reporting. Yeah.
All right, so Lacey throws his phone in the water after his date asks him to stay off of it.
Call me when it's at like 30% reporting.
I don't know what this is, brother, but let's watch it real quick. Tell me what you think, Gary.
You're gonna go on it in 5 seconds.
No,
you
I'm
can't
not.
keep your hands off it.
I'm not gonna.
Listen,
I just locked it and threw it in the water.
No, you didn't. It's right there.
Oh.
Throw it in.
Holy shit, Alex Jones died. Peep Lord, is this a joke? I'm gonna be real. You post things that are just silly sometimes. Or are you making a joke? Oh, popped like a goddamn balloon. Yep, you're making a joke. You're referencing the new onion thing. Okay. Let's not do things that at first are presented as truths, but then are jokes. That'd be great.
In the water. You actually threw your phone in the water.
Gone, locked, thrown away.
Why would you do that?
Pause.
I hope he has.
What did he do? Did he throw her? Did he actually throw her phone in the water?
You actually threw your phone in the water.
Wait, his? Why?
Gone, locked, thrown away.
Why would you do that?
Pause.
I don't understand
I hope
what
he has a
happened.
backup.
Do I believe that this is real? Probably not. But what is funny is that this is actually in Miami, in Bayside. You can see the scenery, Hard Rock right behind it. And for the camera, he's going to hype it up. But again, if it was real, this would be dumb to do because, honestly speaking, bro, it's your phone. She's on a date. You're a leader. If you're on your phone, it is what it is. You bending to her will because you're on your phone is weak. Again.
The way they talk about relationships is insane. Like it's a strategy game. Sir, we're talking about interpersonal relationships. Are you a human? Do we need to, like, lock you in a lab and study you? Are you not a human being who can have interactions with people? Like, I am socially inept. I cannot handle interpersonal relationships very well. I don't operate within them well. I don't understand social rules. Even I understand, though, it's an interpersonal relationship. It's not a game. It's not like a set of rules and you're like, oh, you're not trying to win. That's not how it works.
I think it's not real. But then again, if it is real, it's an L.
Speaking of weak men, can we see Alec Baldwin?
Yes.
Okay, that's probably where we'll stop. Lion Lazily, thank you for Prime sub for 53 months. Appreciate you. Alec Baldwin. All right, we had that cleanse. Let's do the cleanse, and then we'll call it a day. If anyone has any recommendations for you who you want me to raid on Twitch, let me know in the chat.
Shit, but the interior is leather and it's fully equipped and it drives itself, so I think we all know what's up. So I look in the mirror and I wink at myself and then I take a deep breath and go down on myself. Yeah, I'm sucking myself off in my Cybertruck. Yeah, the windows are tinted, so I roll them down so everybody sees me going to town. This car's got me driving myself nuts, and I honk my horn when I bust. I tweet a thank you to Elon Musk. Yeah, I'm sucking myself off in my Cybertruck. On my way to work, on my way back home, I got my head between my ankles, giving myself dome. After I finish, I give myself $20. Well, it's got 4 tires and it...
Fun. All right, let's see who we're going to rate on Twitch. I'm not seeing any recommendations currently, so we'll just see who's live. A lot of people are live tonight. Boop, boop, boo, 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 boo.
This was just another attempt at a cash grab. While I'm tracking my VHS.
we'll read them. All right. Have a great night, everyone. I will be back tomorrow. We're probably going to do meme stocks tomorrow because they diluted them again and the price is down. We'll get to see what Marantz has to say. Also, Roaring Kitty's brother showed up on the PP show and made a fool of them and everyone, and it was all a whole lot of shit. If you can, make sure you like the stream on YouTube, hype the video if you can. The rest of you, I'll see you soon. Have a great night and all that good stuff. Bye-bye, everyone.